My. Let me see. Let me get my picture here. Let's see who I am. Let's see if I'm in. Am I in? Can anybody see me?
Yes, blessings.
Blessings. God bless you. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I never had a bad day. Our God is awesome. Juanita, are you available? Juanita,
Yes.
I know I saw you. When we're done, I'll send it right to you. You and I need to Zoom. I'll send that to you. I think you're going to be super impressed.
Okay, awesome.
I got you. I got you. Thank you. And you will be happy. That no doubt about it. Okay. All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Hey, everybody, let's unmute real quick and everybody tell me how somebody doing. Grab a couple testimonies while we get going. We are recording. Let me pray first. Let me pray first. We got to be decent and in order while everybody get in. I got a lot to share. So we want to allow a bunch of, allow everybody to get in here. And we just increased our capacity. So hopefully we can get more people in here because we got caught at 100. So we had to increase the capacity because God is blessing and we're just trying to really seriously help people out, get people rolling. So let's pray. Heavenly Father, bow your heads. Heavenly Father, our God in heaven, we just thank you, God, for who you are in our life. Thank you for your goodness, your grace, your mercy. God, thank you for considering us. God, thank you for considering everyone here, God, as your people, God. Guide us, direct us. Let the Holy Spirit rest, root, and abide in everything we do, in our walk, our talk, our thoughts, God, our path. Let our footsteps be ordered by you. So, God, we just thank you for country living, sustainability, and preparation. God, for allowing, God, our people an opportunity to get ready as we do not have much time. So, God, we again ask special grace for favor. Everyone that hears this Zoom, that it be good for them. We send these prayers up to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in the most holy place of the heavenly sanctuary. God, with one other option, we have members that are grieving, as we just got a call from one of our brothers who's normally here, who would be here, that he just lost his grandmother. God, so you bless the people that are grieving, God, those that are in bereavement right now. Bless those that are in need. Also our elderly, our sick, our shut in, our fatherless, God, our widows, God, that they be covered under your blood. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you, everybody. Good to hear from everybody. Good to hear from everybody. Dr. Admiral, really? Unmute, please. Where have you been? Good to see you here. Good to see you. She was, Dr. Admiral, when you're unmute, just start talking. But she was one of our very first, when we first got started.
Here I am. Here I am. I gotta
How are you?
mute something else here. Okay.
Good to hear from you. Where you
Blessings,
been?
blessings, 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 blessings.
A long time. Wow. You still in, where you at now? Are you, where are you?
Houston.
Okay, still in
Still in
Texas.
Houston.
Just make sure, 'cause
Still
you
in
know you was
Texas.
traveling for a while. Okay. My good to hear
Yes, I'm
from you.
not traveling, not
Yes.
traveling anymore, but
Okay.
I'm still in Houston.
God bless you. Good to hear from you. Hang out. We got lots of new stuff since we've seen you. We're growing. The ministry is outstanding. We moved into different phases, as we'll talk about here tonight to show our people. Our school is launching very shortly, Healing Proper Short Course Academy. So we'll talk about that tonight. So
Wow.
you're gonna see a lot of great things.
Wow and wow.
Yeah, well, God is wild and wild. And I pray to God every day for all you that don't know this. I'm going to say this. Be specific when you pray. Please, my brothers and my sisters, be specific when you pray because God answers prayer all day, every day. So when I pray now, I ask God, God, guide my path. God, bring the people to me that you need me to talk to, work with, be with, minister to, share with. Let us give resolve to these people. Let us work out what the people need. And people come and they come with, seem like to me, perfect cases of what we have to provide for them, if that makes sense. So we don't leave anybody in the dark or in the dust. Even with our grant pieces, people saying, "Can you help me find a grant? Can you help me find this? Can you help me design, do this and the other?" And we're able to help and design things that that just meets the criteria of what people need. And through our investigative skills and backgrounds and all that stuff we've been doing for years with finances and all of that, we get resolved. But even just through prayer and just through communion. So tonight we're going to talk when us communing together. So tonight we're going to be talking about a lot of that as we get people set up and show people alternative ways to get the finance you need to get to the country. Because again, we don't have a lot of time. So we're going to be talking about that. So everybody get your notebooks out and all that stuff. So we want to give a few more people a chance to get on. I like to start when we get around 50 people. So let's unmute and give me some testimonies by show of hands. If anything special going on in your life, you got any special needs, make it quick and to the point. But if you got any testimonies as well, come on, let's share while we wait for other people to come on. But it's just like 6 minutes after 6. So let's intermingle if we would. So show of hands, or anybody got anything special going on? No. Okay. Okay, go ahead. K is there. Oh, that's Tap Team K. Hi, my sister. God bless you.
Hey, Kevin. Kevin, guess what? Guess
What?
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 I
Y'all see that?
found a property
Congratulations. Really? Where? Okay,
in
it's a secret.
Kentucky.
Congratulations. Can we get nosy? How big? When we coming? When y'all having the grand opening and the reunion, the food? What do you do when you do it? When you get property? The land warming? Congratulations.
So here's the thing. I just want to say this. Um, God, like we're already in the country property,
Sure.
and we're not about to sell this property that we're currently on because we're starting back over. We're gonna have to build up a
Sure.
little bit. But I'm gonna say this that this property came so fast and so swift, right? It just literally fell into my hands. The property was not even on the market. It wasn't even on the market.
One of my hands out when I go outside. See what's falling my.
I'm gonna tell you, you're so funny. I'm gonna tell y'all, just pray and trust in God, and He will lead you to where you need to be. The
Wow.
property that we received, it is all, let me tell you, when you go out and you uplift Christ, people will say, you know what? I want to help. I want to help. And they will make things available to you that you didn't know was there. And it's not necessarily something that it's not necessarily, if you're out and I went into an area and I was just working the area. That's it. It's about 3 hours away from my current home. I was working the area, trying to see if there was a work to do out there. There's work to do everywhere. Finding that there was not a big Adventist footprint, but there are a lot of sick people in need of help using the medical missionary work. And the Lord opened up a door for me to have a property. So I just want to say, praise God. God is good. And
We're
you
gonna
can
find out
do
how
this
big it
too.
is.
It's only 12 acres.
It's big. Y'all
Only
see,
12 acres.
what a blessing. I'm proud. I'm happy.
Yes. Yes, it's only 12 acres,
It's a
which is
lot of
much
land.
smaller than what I have now. But guess what?
Huh.
The siblings have the property that's next to it. And I'm going to go up there and talk to them next.
All you gotta do is start evangelizing, doing what you do. They either gonna come on
Yep.
board or they're gonna take off running.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
all.
God is
That's all you
awesome.
have to do. There are so many sick people out there
Yes,
and
ma'am.
they're looking for hope. And when I say sick, I don't necessarily mean in the body, but in the mind.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes, ma'am.
God will give you the words to say, and people will open up the doors. There are properties out there, and there is work to be done. And God will move you so fast and so swift. And you don't have to have a lot of money.
People in need of a God that can help. Thank you. That's my sister. How's my brother doing?
He's doing fine.
Okay.
He's uh just taking one day at a time.
All you can do is take it easy. God got you. God got y'all wrapped in his arms. They just suffered a family loss, you all, and just recovering, still recovering from that. So God got you. You covered. You covered. God got you. Yeah, God got you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Testimony? Anybody got one before I get started? I'm trying to let our numbers get up a little bit so that people don't, some people say, I missed it. I missed it. I missed it. And I got a lot to go over that I want to share. But anybody got any testimonies or any particular questions, anything specific? Go ahead and put your hand up. If it's something coming up that I know I'm going to talk about, then I'll let you know that. We'll get to it. But other than that, if you got any questions, any insight, any testimonials? Anybody got any land for sale?
I
Anybody looking to?
am I am gonna say one more thing. I'm looking for neighbors. So I'm still scouting the area for you guys. So when I come, when the properties are made available to me, y'all better be ready because I'm coming.
What a neighbor to have, y'all, because she cooks and grows. So there we go. There you go. There you go. Thank you, my sister. Anybody else? Anybody got any property for sale? Anybody looking to buy property? Anybody looking to share with people? Is there anybody out there? Well, anybody know anybody that has not anybody know anybody that can that's in Romania or that can share and help a sister that's in Romania or help? She says there are tons of people in Romania, the Seventh-day Adventists, and needs help. Do anybody know anybody that even speaks the Romanian language, which is I guess is in a dialect of Spanish? I could be wrong. But do anybody know anybody that could help anybody in Romania? Okay, so keep that in mind as you find that out. Okay, anybody got anything? Okay, because we got a young lady in Romania, and she literally called me again, and she's crying, y'all. I mean, I was not exactly literally crying, and they can't get help in Romania. The finances is fine. She says there's complete towns, country towns that are completely abandoned, complete villages that are completely abandoned as people have left. And the mayors are trying to give people free homes, free everything just to get people to come back. But there's no resources of revenue in certain areas to make money. And there's tons and tons and tons and tons of homes and things that they're trying to give away in Romania. But they need biblical help and guidance, because one thing the sister was crying about is that the SDA churches in Romania are not stepping up and doing their job. Nobody's taking over for God's people. Everybody's for themselves. And this is not a young lady that's without income. She has money from selling her property, and she's simply asking for help in Romania. So we need to start getting people, whatever areas you guys are in, put on the captain's hat, if you would. Let me put on my captain's hat for a minute. Put on the captain's hat, if you would, for the area that you in for God, and stand up and represent the Seventh-day Adventist Church, represent God's people in these end times and present truth. So be it Romania, Canada, the UK, Jamaica, Trinidad, Tobago, whatever, Tennessee, Kentucky, let's step up and step out as a representative. And then if you get that to me, like Kay, I know where her and Devontae go, they're going to represent wholeheartedly. So all of your sisters and brothers here, we can say wherever you guys go, we know you're going to represent wholeheartedly. So any help you guys need with that, let's bring it to the table, bring it to the tap team here, and then let everybody get behind you and push you and represent what you're trying to do. So if you got any insight on making things better for people, please let us know, that kind of thing. Okay. All right, so God bless you. I'm going to go ahead now and get ready as we hit my magic number of 53. I want to, well, now 54, the numbers are coming in. I want to welcome everybody to our Thursday meeting. We do this every Thursday. So where we at now is we were going to start, and we got up to chapter 2, I think, so far, Kay. We were going to start reading reading from my book, Country Living, Just About Everything, Including God, More Than a Guidebook, and that's 42 chapters. However, the hunger and the need of what people needed right now changed as people started coming back. So at some point, we'll get back to the book reading, but now people want to know about alternative incomes so that they can hurry up and get to the country and hurry up and get out of the city. And again, we're back to grants, and we're back to even loans, and we're back to all those things. But this, when I say back to, some people wanted to go back to, even if I can get a loan, even if I can get a loan. But so we're going to talk about all of those things, but I'm going to give you a lot of insights this time. It's going to be a lot different, and I challenge you guys to challenge my mind and my way of thinking, and to challenge the things that I've learned throughout these years, so that I can bring those to the table and give you some results, because I have been doing lots of research. And Juanita, who's sitting there, Miss Daly, is an example, as she presented something that's different and unique, and I took it above and beyond, as with our sisters at Exodus to the Journey, when she challenged for us to have some services for people, or programs for people that's depression proof. And I thought that was outstanding. I took it as a challenge to do my research and investigate what kind of businesses can be self-sustaining for us in country living in a depression. Okay, so that we could still rise, that we can still be self-sustaining. So God has given us a lot of insights on those things. So we're going to be sharing a lot of that. So with that being that, God bless you all. I'm going to get into a little bit of this PowerPoint, and we're going to have plenty of time for Q&A as well. Let's do this from the beginning. Let's do let's back up out of there. Let's do there we go here. And I think I was right the first time. Oh, get out of there. All righty. From the beginning. There we got it. All right. Country Living Adventist Home Ministries and Healing Principles. Wait a minute. Is that my first slide? Really? Bear with me. There we go. All right, there we go. King James Foundation for Preparation and Country Living. You guys know what the Bible teaches us. It teaches us Babylon is fallen. If you've never been here before, welcome to There Are People Ministry. And this is our Thursday night Zoom where we do country living, sustainability, and preparation. And we want our people to be prepared. So God blessed us with an awesome ministry that we can help people get to the country. Okay, we can help people be self-sustaining. And we want to be able to do that. Let me share my screen real quick. There we go. Can you guys see my screen? Somebody? Anybody? All right, thank you. All right, there we go. Somebody take care of admitting those people, let everybody in. So we're doing that. And so come out of her, my people, Revelations 18:4. And it's literally telling us that the cities are dying, they're destroyed. But what's going to shock you even more, that a lot of people don't really think. We've only had 4 world empires. The Babylonian Empire, King Nebuchadnezzar. That's in your history books, people. The coins from that is in your museums. Then we had the Medes and the Persians. They existed. They're in your history book. Daniel was spot on. Then we had who? Alexander the Great. I remember him from school, and then his generals took over, the 4 lions, as the Bible describes them. And then we had the Roman Catholics, you guys know the word I'm trying to say. So we had the Roman Empire. We're now at the feet of iron and clay, and that's what bothered King Nebuchadnezzar when he was going to kill all his wise men and soothsayers and everybody, because they couldn't interpret it. He couldn't reveal the dream, for one, and then they couldn't interpret it. But Daniel prayed to God, and God gave him an interpretation. So Daniel showed us history, and he showed us the future. He showed us, today we see it as history, but he showed the future to King Nebuchadnezzar right then and there. But he also shows us now where we are. Apostate Protestants, and then the papacy, the feet of iron and clay. I had a gentleman say, well, we don't know who the iron is. Donald Trump can't be the iron. I said, of course not, he can't be the iron. This came from a priest, y'all, a Catholic priest. Of course he can't be the iron, because it would have had to been an empire that ruled after the Greeks. It wasn't America. We know that. So it can't be that. So it's the papacy, a break off or splinter of the Roman Empire. Absolutely. And then a Protestants, people who knew God, knew Christ, but now they're turning against him, and yet they're trying to get back in bed with the papacy, so to speak. Forgive me for using words like that, but they're trying to do this. So we know now where we are. We don't have a lot of time. So there's a lot of things we must do. So this is going to really condense a whole lot into one of services that we must handle right now. Okay. So when we talk about, people talk about grants, and one of the first things I got on here is be the lender, not to borrow. We talked about that before, where people says you can't borrow, you don't want to be in debt, you can't take out, not grants, I'm sorry, loans. People say you can't take out loans. Well, we discussed that, and we found out that you can take out loans, especially if you have every intent to pay that loan back. And then someone said, well, God is coming soon. Well, can you tell me the day or the hour? Because no man knows that. So if you got your full intentions to pay these loans back, get to the country, but just don't borrow above your means, and borrow with the ability to be able to pay everything back, because this presentation is going to show you how, when you do borrow, now you can get to the country and cultivate your land and pay that back. Not only pay that back, reach back and help somebody else and pull them to the country. This is the kind of attitude that we need to take today, because we do not have a lot of time. Okay, so why rural living? Support spiritual stability and health. Why rural living? Because you get a buffer. You get a buffer when all goes kaput. You've seen anybody that used to watch all the horror movies back in the day. You've seen the movie when the zombies come out and people in the cities are all vacant. If you're trapped in the city on the roof and when the night falls, all the zombies come out, then you look down off 122 stories and you see, oh, that's your zombie apocalypse. That's what's going to be happening in the cities when all go kaput because there is no more Walmart at that point. There is no more trucks coming up the highway to bring food to a Walmart that's been ransacked and don't exist. So where's your food coming from in the city? So you could be sitting in the city with a $400,000 house, and you're just simply becoming a target. Okay. And then what about when the power goes down? That means your water, your toilets, those things stop working. Your houses just become filthiness, so to speak. In addition to people breaking all in there, and you can't do anything. You can't use even the bathroom. So country living gives you a sustainability from that. Gives you a hedge against all the things that's coming, where you can grow your own food. So how do we identify rich? Being rich, being rich. Some people think it's wealthy with money, with finances. But you know what? If you got God, you got some country land with resources on your property, with food and water. You know, you're growing food and water and you got God, you got country property. You are rich because you have your daily nourishment and God, with God, you have your daily nourishment, food, water, resources on your property and shelter. And you can share with others. We must reach back and know that we have to share with others. That's rich because those people sitting in the city with $500,000 in a bank account that used to exist does them no good, zero. So we have to think like that. We have to reach back and help others. So country living. So in Adventist home, it lays that out, ministry of healing and healing. And then the principles altogether. The importance of simplicity is what we're talking about here. We need to get back to downsizing and being simple. At home in the city, we got Amazon Prime, we got Netflix, we got Hulu, we got what's those gargles, the 3D gaming, we got Xbox, PlayStation, we got Amazon at our door every day with new packages. We go to the grocery store every day. We do, but we're saving nothing. We're relaxed in our lazy boy recliners with the remote controls, with the big 79-inch screen television. We have to understand that's where we're going to be lost. We're going to be lost where we are. You got to make up in your mind today, okay, Brother Kevin, I'm so tired of you talking about this. Pastor Enriquez, that's all he says. I'm so tired of him talking about this. Other people, that's all they say. But listen, think about it. This could go kaput tonight. It could go kaput tomorrow. Here we are in South America getting ready to have another war. Okay, where Israel is, we know that's a matter of time. We know those things are a matter of time. There's so much going on that we have to consider. There are things in place in Israel that wasn't in place 20 years ago, that wasn't in place 10 years ago, that meets the Bible prophecy or who they will be surrounded by. That's another story. Look it up. The countries that they said will surround Israel, the Bible talked about, they're there. They weren't even in place 10 years ago. They've partnered. So prophecy is getting fulfilled every day, and we're not awake. So we got to get rid of this. We got to get back down to simplicity. We got to get things going on. So, okay. So independence of simplicity, agricultural and preparation. We got to get to growing food. We got to get to planting. We got to get to preparation time. Even with growing, we got to start putting food up and canning and preserving and making food and provisions for other people. Don't keep all your food in one place. If you can do other pantries, if you can do root cellars, if you can do things out in the field, if you can do things, my sister just said she got 12 acres. If you can take that backside of 12 acres, put you a shed back there and a root cellar underground, and you can start storing stuff back there. That's a different location. I mean, just so you can save stuff to help other people and have stuff in various locations. It's not about, I'm not talking about hiding or just hoarding, things like that. I'm talking about preparation so you can only get so much in the house, but have something for somebody else. And that's where real sellers and stuff like that are for. You'll find on YouTube how to build all those things. Okay. Families working together for sustainability. Listen, families. Listen, families. Whether you're SDA, Baptist, Buddhist, black, white, green, or gray. I don't care what the situation is. People have got to now learn to work together. And then we have to start telling our families this. I'm putting together a letter piece for my family because I prayed God and asked God, how can I get people to listen to me and our family? Because Christ, a lot of people didn't listen to him. He wasn't, couldn't do things he wanted to do in his own town, wasn't perceived well. So I'm going to do it through a booklet, and I'm laying out details, and I'm sending it to everybody, those kinds of things. We need to find ways in letters and communication to talk to people. If you guys put together families, I'll do a Zoom for you. See, I just volunteered some time for you. We need to get our families to working together. You'll find out there that finances go a long way at that point. Okay, so we need to consider those things. Okay, why country living matters today. Somebody need to go ahead and mute. Is that Sharon Potter? Go ahead and remove for thank you so much. You're awesome. Now I got to go back. Okay, economic instability in the cities. Nothing can be counted on in the cities. You guys know that. With all the stuff that Donald Trump's doing, y'all cousin, and y'all know he y'all cousin because there was only 8 people on the ark. So by default, that makes Donald your cousin. So about all the things Donald Trump was doing, to call himself getting better contracts with NATO, getting NATO to spend money, bring that in, catching people supposedly stealing and doing all this, causes food prices to shoot through the roof, causes everything to shoot through the roof, and things are just simply not affordable for a lot of people. So you can't trust and rely on anything and any person other than God. So we got to know that through economic stability, our best place is in the country. What you spend one time going to the store, even if it's a neighborhood store, can be seeds. Take that if it was $27. $27 worth of seeds. And I think if Kay would chime in, she would agree with me. $27 worth of seeds can go a long way. Am I right, my sister Kay? Are you available? $27 worth of seeds. Yes, ma'am.
Let me tell you something. If you get a pack of tomato seeds, right, for what, $3, $4, you have 25 plants, 25 tomato plants in the pack of tomato seeds. That alone, because tomatoes produce, that alone is gonna bring you at least between, I'm gonna say between $500 and $1,000.
Get my sister.
And it just depends on what you do with it. Whether you sell the tomatoes just to sell them, whether you make them into products, and then whether you use your plants after you make your products. Because remember that tomato plants, they're a good mosquito repellent. So you can utilize the entire plant and make money off of it.
So we have to, thank you, my sister. I knew I could count on you. So we have to go about it like that. We have to get out of the cities because not only are we wasting money and holding ourselves back, we can't get stuck there. And then the zombie gonna take them tomatoes and dice them up on you as he started. So no, we have to get out of the city so we don't become, trapped where we are. Okay, so rising dependence on the system is happening every day because of economic instability. People can no longer afford to get things done, to even pay rent, like the mayor was saying in New York, the mayor-elect. In New York, people can no longer afford to pay the bills in the city for the apartments. Now they're relying on this. The dependency is on the system and the food banks. And the food banks are even being overwhelmed, okay? So there's a lot there that has to be looked at. We got to get out of the cities. Opportunities for evangelism and self-sufficiency is massive in the country because there's no one here doing it. There's so few and they're far apart. A Seventh-day Adventist church that we saw is an hour away on a highway that you can go 65 miles an hour on, 65 whatever miles an hour, and still over an hour away, part of a conference. So where we are, and there's places around, I saw a sign that said Maranatha, and a church that said Maranatha Baptist Church. I'm like, look at that. So we have people to evangelize to. I had the pleasure on this week to go and meet with a gentleman who just opened House of Hope. He was a former drug addict, and now he's opened a beautiful home. Beautiful home, big, beautiful place, laid out everything, weight room, everything for all these young men who were hooked on drugs. And these people are hungry. I took them 3 of the books that I've written, and they're hungry. And I said, we can teach entrepreneurship class, a lot of stuff we can do. We can just we're here to speak for you. Anytime you need us, just call us. And I laid everything out to him biblically, where we stand and all that. And he said, you mind if I record it? And he was just, felt really good about things. I'll just put it that way. It was just outstanding, because we need to let people know who we are and where we are, and we are here. Okay, so evangelism. God's going to provide for us. So here's an A to Z framework overview real quick. I'm going to go through it kind of quick for you because we got a lot to do tonight. Assessments. Assess where you are in the city. What's your hindrance? What's stopping you from getting out of the city? Is it that your family's not compliant? Nobody's working with you? You got a husband issue, a wife issue? Take it to the Lord in prayer. Do that, please. Take it to God in prayer. Trust God, but also start looking. Step out. Start getting some ideas. Call me, Brother Kevin. Text me. I got some ideas. I want to do this, that, and the other. But start talking with your sisters and brothers as well, and tell people, look, the cities are falling apart. We can make more money, like Sister K just said. We can take $27 and grow, make money on tomatoes. And that's a whole business. Cherry tomatoes, I tell everybody, $75,000 to $200,000 per acre for cherry tomatoes. It takes 3 people to work an acre of cherry tomatoes for that season. And the reason I keep repeating that, because the opportunities when you get to the country, you can even subsidize an income tremendously. So budgeting in the city. So I want everybody now that's still in the city, start reducing the times you go to the store. Start setting money to the side. I believe it was Exit to the Journey or another ministry. No, it was another ministry, different ministry. They were fasting on going to the store every day. So they took it down to 3 days a week, and then they went down to 2 days a week, and then the next month, I believe it was, they went down to 1 day. They're going down to 1 day a week that they go to the big store and get everything you need. Because you'll be surprised how much money you keep spending when you're going, but you're gonna be surprised how much money you save. Even though you may go that 1 day a week and get everything you need, guess where you saved money at? On your gas to and fro that you didn't go those other 3 or 4 days, plus your time, the hours it would have took you to go to that store and come back. Your time is also valuable, so now you can do more things. So try fasting on that. So let's stop going to the store every day or day. Let's just go when needed. So let's make a big plan. We're going to budget now. What do we need? Let's get bulk tissue paper. Let's get bulk this. Let's get everything we need. Soap, buy it in bulk. Whatever you use, buy it in bulk so you don't have to keep going to the store all the time. Milk lasts longer if you're a milk drinker. We do an almond milk. And those last longer the time. We don't want that dairy stuff. Those last a long time. So, I'm saying just buy things in bulk so you don't have to keep going, and you'll see you save money. Credit readiness. Keep your credit fine, because you may want to borrow to get out of the city, because it'll be safer with you having debt in the country, because again, you have the ability to grow and take care of that stuff and pay that debt off. That's your intention. So you keep your credit worthy. Don't do anything to violate. Don't overuse it, because that's a sin anyway. If you just go, I'm gonna get these credit cards, run them all up. God getting ready to come back. No, don't do that. Okay, that's guilty of sinning. But keep your credit ready. Keep it tight and sharp, and utilize that for what you need to get out of town. Even if you got the leased land first in the country, and grow food on while you're still living in the city, grow the food on there and bring that back, sell that to make some money to get to the country. We're going to talk about that later. Debt elimination, downsizing, fasting on us. Let's get rid of a lot of this debt. Let's pay off those things. Start with the small ones first if you can. Get rid of a whole bunch of them little small ones, because they add up and they're going to continue to milk you and drain you. Okay, get rid of those small debts. Eliminate them and don't go back to them. If that card is done and you're done with it, tear the card up, destroy it, don't call and get another one. Okay, let's do debt elimination. Again, and with debt elimination, stop overspending. With debt elimination, stop overspending. Okay, land acquisition. Tons of ways we're going to talk about tonight that you can get land in different ways. We're going to talk about family coming together again to get land. We're going to talk about the various auction sites. We're going to talk about grants for getting land. That's out there. So looking into your family, your grandma, your cousins. Ask your grandma, or ask your parents that's down south, or ask your cousins or friends that you know in other states, who owns Miss So-and-so's land that she used to have before they passed away? Who owns this land? Is there land for sale down near you? Start talking to people that's in the country from where you came from, or where other people are, where you got family members at, and see what land's available down there. And that's where you can start to look at other ways to acquire land, in addition to grants and all those kinds of things. Sustainability. Even in the city, you have to be sustainable, because we do know that everything's going to go kaput in a little or no time. We do know that's coming. We will not probably get another chance like you guys just got with this SNAP card. What a warning. It went 40 something days. You probably won't get that again. And it's safe to say you won't get that again, because when the Democrats get in, if that's what you want to go by, if the Republicans got to do that and hold out, you're going to be in trouble. So that won't happen again. So even in the city, you must be sustainable. So do what you can to be in the city sustainable, but also start moving stuff to the country. Even if you got to share with a family or a sister or brother you know out there, hey, can you store some of this for me? Can you store food for me? Hey, can you store this for me? So in the event of, we can at least come out and then we not be, lacking. We have something that we put away. Consider that, but let's look at how to be completely sustainable. Even if you're in the country and you find it hard to be sustaining, okay, look at sharing land with others. Look at leasing land to others. Look at renting land to others so that they can get on and cultivate their piece. And then find a way at that point they can rent to own, and then you can sell them that land. Not to gather people up and you got one person that we moved into a cult situation. Everybody got to wear brown or khaki, that kind of thing. So everybody got to look alike, all those kind of. No, let's not do that. Let's band together as family, as children of God, and share with each other and be sustainable and take care of business. Business development. I am going to continue to push because there's so many businesses that can be developed right now to help you guys be sustaining in the city to get to the country. And the whole purpose for that is so that you can raise money in addition to alternative income, I should say, in addition to what you have now, so you can get that little extra dollar. You're going to hear about our school that opens up next year. We start signing people up in January, and classes start in March. Healing Proper Short Course Academy. We have over 80 classes and curriculums. All of those are entrepreneurship classes designed for you to go to school in a short period of time, know how to do. We teach you the entire business curriculum to include marketing, advertisement as well. Getting all your stuff out there and grants and all that. And then when you're done, you get a whole pack of everything else you need to do to be self-sustaining. So you're going to have a business from A to Z piece in a short course academy. These are 6-week courses. They're monstrous, massive, very nice. Lots to do. So business development is something we're going to always push for you to be self-sustaining. And then we help you with the grants and assistance and all those kinds of things in addition to everything else that we do. Okay, so look at your income and see how you can adjust your income or itemize your income so that you can put money in an area you're not going to touch it. You don't need a 2027 car or 2026. You simply don't need it. It costs too much. So look at your income, itemize your income, put money up, see what you can hold back on, and watch that money start to build up. Again, we don't have a lot of time. Watch that money start to build up. And then do a debt review. Look at how much in debt I am. What could I do to alleviate a lot of that? What could I sell off? What could I do? Because as you start to attack that debt best you can, it starts to pick up your credit scores just a little bit. So think about that and consider that. Then you may need to take out that loan or qualify for something else. Because if you can, when people say, I don't want to take out a loan, it's too late. When you do a mortgage, they say it's too late. But when you do a mortgage, that's taking out a loan, right? But when you do that in the country property, now if you got land you can grow produce on, that same $27, and y'all don't want me to get K back on it because she's going to tell you, that same $27, multiply that times 3, 4, 5, or even 10, $270 or $2,700. Now take those seeds and see what you have. You have a major business. With $2,000 worth of seeds, you have $1 million business. Let somebody challenge me and tell me I'm not telling the truth. If you can plant $2,000 worth of seeds in the ground, the right kind of seeds that reproduce, like Kate was talking about, with vine plants, tomatoes, cucumbers, all things that spread out, zucchini and peppers, all those things produce so much for your buck. From that one seed, it produces all of that. You can be set and help someone else. So do an income review, do a debt review, and then skill inventory. What is your skill set? You can shop out and sell your skills. That's another reason why we launched Healing Proper Short Course Academy. So you can build your skills and shop out and sell your skills and live off your skills. And then get that revenue you need to transfer to the country. Some people got in trouble criminally. Some people got in trouble with using drugs. Some people just don't make enough money on their jobs. Some people don't want to go to college. Some people can't afford to go to college. Some people just coming out of the army. Some people got college debt. Let's increase your skill inventory. Let's shop that and make income. Okay. I make I increase my skill inventory based off, by talking. This is what I do. So I find and research things that's beneficial for people that people need, and I save them the work of doing that. Save them lots of the expenses they would have to incur to find out all those things. I bring it to the table, put all that together. That's what makes us great consultants. We put things together to help people, but we put God first. Elderly or youth collaboration opportunities. I need people now that's on this Zoom to understand that there are elderly people that need your help. These are elderly people with income. These are elderly people with resources. These are even if some people, young ladies are calling me. I'm calling them young ladies. She's a little older, 90 years old, or in some 70 something years old, and all these kinds of things. Some may be in wheelchairs and all those things, but they could pay $900 a month. They're paying that now. So you got to decide when you get some land. Can I put 2 tiny houses? Can I put this, that, and the other? Can I make them wheelchair accessible? Can we move families in together? You guys can benefit from older people because they become them instant grandmas. But more than that, they're teachers because they carry a lot of wisdom. They carry a lot of wise sayings. They carry a lot of bake from scratch details that's being lost. We're losing generations of skills and labor, all that stuff, our knowledge and power, all that's going to the cemeteries. No. We need to match up and take care of our people, take care of our elderly, our widow, our sick, our shut in, our fatherless children, all those things. So let's work together and decide. Somebody says, Brother Kevin, I need you to help me. I want to do a piece for the elderly. Jump right on it. Let's go. Let's put a bunch of tiny houses on the land. Let's do this. Let's have a center so they can do this, that, and the other. Let's do this. Let's get medical in there. Let's have EMS. Let's have a nurse come by every once in a while, blah, blah, blah. And put together that, put that in the grant. Let's send it off. Okay, so lay out the whole business plan, all that. So let's do all that. Okay, so we got to take care of our elderly. We got to take care of our elderly. All right, cutting unnecessary expenses. Briefly, what we talked about, but now you got to consider the luxury pieces. Stop it. Stop the luxury things that you go out and do all the time. Okay, all the time. Cut it out. Forget the movie theater. Forget, if you cut out 3 of the different streaming things you got on your television, saves you a lot of money. Forget a lot of things that you used to do. Let's pull the money up. You'll be surprised how fast 100 turns into 200 to 300 to 400 to 500. You're going to be tempted to touch it to get something. Leave it alone. Downsize with what you buy. Stop buying all the most expensive handbags and shoes and purses and jackets just to have somebody's name on it. Throw that away. That's no good. Okay? You'll be comfortable after a while in a burlap sack if that's what you had to wear. You'll be like, okay, I'm used to it. But I say that to say this. Let's try to save money, okay? Prioritizing savings. What can we save on? This is most important, and that's going to be for your country living sustainability and preparation. So let's prioritize savings, and then downsizing on possessions. Let's start getting rid of stuff. Some people got 50 pair of shoes, but I can't get rid of none of my shoes, Brother Kevin. Sell them. I know a gentleman I worked with. He sells shoes. He sells his used shoes online. He's got an online piece where he sells his used shoes. Sell them. Sell them or give them away or bless somebody else. Purses, shoes, clothes, downsize things you don't need. Furniture, extra things you don't need. Furnishings, paintings, oils, gifts, art, whatnots and statues. Sell them. Put them on auction, put them on eBay, put them on Amazon, put them on Craigslist, put them on Facebook. Sell them and build up that money, and let's use that revenue. If you did that in 1 week, if everybody here looked at your house and looked at what you can downsize in 1 week, you guys have enough. Most of you have enough money for a down payment, for $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 down for a house or for a piece of land. You would have that because you can buy pieces of land now for very inexpensive prices. You got the down payment for it right there by downsizing. So don't think that's something hard to do. It's easy to do. And the benefit with getting that land now, that land you can now grow on. Remember that $27 Kay talked about? That land you can now grow on and produce more revenue. So think like that. You're only downsizing so you can surpass where you were. Okay, in the country, everything goes so much further. Okay, prepare for rural lifestyle costs. Rural lifestyle cost is a lot lower, but it would be worse on you, even though it's lower. It'd be worse on you if you're going there carrying all the debt you had in the city, right? All the debt you had in the city, and you're taking that, compound that with the rural, then you have to pay a lot of money. So that's why it's important for you to cut unnecessary expenses, prioritize savings, downsize on possessions, and prepare for rural lifestyles. So you can go there without being out of pocket, buy a whole lot of money. So consider that and think of that, okay? So let's actually do that. Credit score components. You see how you guys know how all that work. Credit scores are key to how the best loans or credit cards and things that you can get. are the best loans that you can get. So check that out. If you're looking to take out a loan, you're just not looking to take out a loan to go in debt. If you're going to take out a loan, remember, you're looking to utilize this to grab your property that's below market value or right at market value, or something that has a little equity in that. And I'll show you how to do that, so that when you get there, what you bought makes you higher, lifts you higher. What I mean by that, because you got good tillable land on your property. You did the survey, you walked the land, you know the resources and everything you got. When you get there, you automatically got a revenue and an avenue to make money to pay that land off. Okay? Mortgage readiness. So be ready with be ready with credit and all those things to be mortgage ready if you have to take a mortgage. Also be ready to pay off a mortgage if there's a mortgage you need to get off from under to get to the country. So a lady asked me this. She says, I have a property, it's worth $340,000 or somewhere higher like that. She says, I owe a $40,000 mortgage. Should I pay that off first and then move to the country? Absolutely not. Don't pay that off first. Sell the house. Take the $40,000 you got sitting in the bank and go out and get your country property started. And then let the house sell itself. It pay itself off with the equity that's built up in there. And now you're in the country. You're sustainable and you're good to go. So we show people you'll take that $40,000 and pay the mortgage off on the house, but now you got to wait because you can't sell the house and you gave them the last $40,000 you had sitting in the bank. Now you're sitting up there rocking and worrying. That $40,000 get your country property, and there's tons of properties out there will show you how to do that. Then and put that house on the market because you had it appraised. Sell that. Now you got something to rely on. Okay, something to fall back on, and you're going to be good to go. How to pull credit reports. Okay, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, they all show you how to do that with credit reports. And you guys, I think you're allowed one a year free, something similar to that. And then you can also go to anybody you know, like a mortgage company or other companies like that, and they'll pull your credit report for you. Be careful you don't overpull it. Don't have too many hard hits on your report, that kinds of things. And then you'll know where you are. Or another thing you can actually do is go to your bank or your credit union and say, I want to know my lending score. And that's how much money you're worth for them to lend to you. Once you know that lending score and that number, now you can take that and say, hey, this is my lending score. I want to put a mortgage in. I want to buy this country property. I want to buy this, that, and the other. Okay. Rapid improvement strategies. So what are some quick ways you can rapidly improve what you're doing? Go over everything that we went over. Start downsizing. Start cutting out all those luxury things. Start getting rid of things, the clutter and stuff that you have. Start doing all kinds of things to save money, keep money in your pocket. Go to the grocery store a lot less. Don't go every day. Don't buy gas every day. Fill up your tank. Then you'll see if you don't have to go to the gas station every day, you just save 2 or 3 trips. Fill up your tank. Okay, get all the groceries you need. And you'll see now you don't have to go to the grocery store so much because you're fasting on how often you go to the grocery store. You also saved on gas. You also saved on time. Watch your numbers go up. You're like, where does money come from? Came from you. So we have to control what we do. Okay? We have to control what we do. Listen, I really do nothing with money. You know why? My wife, she has a degree in finance. I'm like, hon, what are you telling me? I literally, because that's what she does. That's her area. So guys, if you're not good at it, or ladies, if you're not good at it, turn the responsibility over to your spouse. And you guys just come to agreement that, listen, we have to downsize on all these things, okay? So legal debt relief and options. My sister Kay, who you just heard from, and brother Devontae, they have a business that helps you with credit, debt, and debt relief and options like that. So there's all kinds of things. And they'll talk to you. You know, you can find out about what's the snowball method. Federal counseling programs. Google those things. They come up. Student loan forgiveness programs. Google those things. Yet some of them still exist. Some of them doesn't. They had them under the Biden administration. One young man got on people's case, said, hey, you got student loan forgiveness? Shame on you. You got student loan forgiveness. You shouldn't got that. Well, it was a law. If somebody got that, if it was a law, that part was legal. You're not sinning, and you take advantage of that. As long as you're not selling your soul. And people walked away from grant or walked away from student loan because they should not be charging you all this money anyway. Some people got $100,000, $50,000, $200,000 in debt from student loans. For what? Just for learning something to be a better member of society? It should not exist. It shouldn't be that way. You should really pay people to go to school, and as they graduate and excel and become awesome and great representatives, debt-free. Okay? So check that out. So when bankruptcy may apply. That's going to be something that's going to be completely up to you. Because a lot of people, again, are the same people that's against student loan forgiveness are against bankruptcies. They say, you got it, you spent it. But there are laws that allow you at certain points to file bankruptcy for various reasons. So again, be compliant with the law, not to do something that is for a sin. Be compliant with the law and take advantage of the laws that are right. Now, if that law said when bankruptcies may apply, plus you have to kill someone, then of course that's not a law you want to follow because you're going against God's commandments, God's statutes. But this is something that's a law that you can follow and fall in on and see how that qualifies. So that's a decision you'll have to make. But those options are out there. If you want to know more about that, we can talk on that later. Let me know. Okay, here's my area right here that we're going to be talking about real quick. I'm going to go through these kind of fast. We do consult on these. You guys can match up with us, and we'll walk you through a lot of these things and what they are. But there's tons of micro grants you guys can apply for and do them on your own. You don't need me. I do consulting. I'll walk you through it, help you with it, love you with it, walk everything you need, show you how to do everything, your business plan, all those kinds of fun things. But these micro grants I designed, and I did the videos on these, and they're free. They're on our YouTube page. If you could put that YouTube page, put our YouTube page in the chat. But it's there are people -TV on YouTube, and I did micro grants. I did grants episodes 0 through 4. 0 showing what they're all about. Episode 1 was micro grants, and it was anywhere from $500 to $25,000. I did episode 2 where you went from 25,000 up to, I believe it was 200,000. Then episode 3 you went from 200,000 to 1 million, and episode 4 was 1 million to 30 million. Episode 5 still changing, still coming. It takes you all the way up to $1.6 billion. People, stop saying that grants are too good to be true and being so lazy that you don't want to apply for a grant. Go apply for the grants. If you don't know how, call me. If you don't know, just go there, Google it. I mean, YouTube even shows you how to do those. Go apply for those grants. I'm not trying to lose business. I'm a grant consultant. I help you with grants. I help you to establish your business. I show you things you didn't even know about a business. If you got any kind of great ideas, reach up with me. Bring me. I'm going to show you those things. But this, I'm telling you, these micro grants are beneficial. They even help you as you grow money to get to your bigger business or to get to your bigger grants. And I'll show you how to do those. So we got faith-based grants. If you have a ministry, if you want to help people, help the old elderly, bring them in, let them live together, bring in nursing for them, activities, things they can do, take them back and forth to their medical facilities. There's grants for that. Rural development funds. Even while we were in this SNAP benefit shutdown, Donald Trump put out more money for country living, for farm raising, for agricultural and rural development. More funds. There's lots of funds for rural development funds for building things in the country to be self-sustaining, even to feed the animals, to steady the forestry, to steady gases, the water, the land, the erosion, the trees. Money sitting there. You guys are saying it's too good to be true because you're not used to knowing anybody that does it. Okay, how many people I get asking me, can you let me talk to some of your people to see how good they do? No, what do you want to do? Let's do what you want to do. What I mean by that is, stop thinking everything is a hoax. You don't need me to apply for grants. People are applying for grants across the world and across this country like you wouldn't believe. So when you don't get this money, at the end of that year that grant was allowed, it's only allowed there for a time period, it moves to a whole nother program for somebody else to shoot horses or to do something crazy, goofy that you don't even understand. So apply for the grants, people. There's tons of grants out there for lots of money. Even how you can do business with other countries. Did you know that you can do business with other countries through a grant? Yes, you can. I'll walk you through that. It's available. And those are the grants that's 100 million, 200 million, and 1.6 billion, because companies buy things from America in bulk. The government has money set aside to show you how you can do that. If you look at my grant episodes, I show you various businesses that you can do that with. Okay? So that's there. So community investment corporations or cooperatives. There's tons of ways that you can also set up things through communities where communities can help you launch something in the country to be self-sustaining. So if you want to grow food in the country, right, and bring it back to the city to sell to give to the churches and all that, get with your communities and let's create some investment pieces where they'll sponsor you on your rural land. I'll give you an example. You charge $75,000, or I'm sorry, let's do it like this. You charge $15,000 times 5 different community centers or churches or organizations. So that equals $75,000. But what you did is you took that to the country, right? Your salary's in there too, by the way. And with that $15,000 by 5, you tell each one of them organizations, I have 5 acres there, and they all have different foods on them. Each one of you get 1/5 of those 5 acres, and I maintain it for you for that whole season. So for $15,000, and Kay already showed you what you can get from just $27 with tomato seeds. So for just $15,000, that one group they can get broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, tomatoes, whatever, on and on and on and on for that whole year. Okay, so those are things I show you how to set up to make things beneficial for you. Okay, so $500 to $10,000 opportunities. Those are there. Those are micro grants. Some of them go to $25,000. Opportunities are there. We show you other opportunities that you can do with $500 to $10,000. We show you businesses that you can set up and have. Tools, seeds, greenhouses, livestock. Show you how you can get all these things below wholesale. thomasnet.com. I gave you guys this website on how to buy all this kind of stuff. We don't eat meat, so livestock for us is our dogs, of course. But there's a lot that you can do, okay, to help other people. No repayment required. These are beneficiaries from grants. These are benefits from grants. Okay, $500 to $1,000. These are the micro grants I'm talking about right here, guys. Tools, seeds, greenhouse, livestock, no payment required. All you have to do is be 100% compliant, doing what you said you were going to do. Don't buy a bar of soap out of this money that was not originally written into the grant. Okay, so you must be 100% compliant with everything that you do. Okay, here we go. Rural development foundations. Okay, environmental philanthropists, faith-based donors, supporters of missions. These are other resources that people don't know about that money can come from. I walk you through how to research these, how to find them, how to match up with them, what the requirements are, all those kinds of things. Okay, people forget about that. I don't want a government grant. There's tons of other different kind out there. When I tell you there's tons, if they weigh pounds on the scale, there's tons of them out there of other different kinds of ways that you can get money. Okay, it's there. USDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture, Rural Development Loan. He just put out, when I say he, I mean your cousin Donald Trump. He's your cousin. There's only 8 people on the ark. And Donald Trump's got to be your cousin. U.S. Department of Agriculture just put out, he put out more money even while the SNAP benefit piece was on, this standoff was on. So there is money there. FSA microloans are there. Local credit union and rural financing, you guys are going to find out that you qualify for a lot of these things, and then look at your credit score and how you fix things as you start to downsize and get rid of debt. All these are resources to get money. And low interest loans. With the low interest loan, you don't have to pay that much back. Then you can actually get that money, do what you need to do, pay that money back. And if you put that money in seeds, and if you can't buy the land, lease the land. My wife and I, we leased 40-some acres. So instead of paying $7,000 an acre, we leased it for a while with $200 an acre. So we owned that land, got to plant everything we wanted, but instead of paying $7,000 an acre, we leased it for $200 per acre. Saved a lot of money, and then you can grow a lot of food. Okay, that's the way. Now at the end of the year, you go and you make all this money from selling produce. Well, I should say all throughout the year. So look at that, and we can explain that to you later as well. Okay, multifamily purchasing, families. You guys need to come together. I will show you how to put together prospectus and a presentation to present to your families, all via Zoom or however you guys want to do that. And if I'm working for you, if I'm your consultant, or pick anybody else there in our team, we got an awesome team to be your consultant. I'm gonna represent you. I'm gonna say, listen, this is what our sister's doing. The prospectus is there. We lay out everything. We lay out the business part of it. She wants to grow beans, greens, all that kind of fun stuff in the country. You want to have houses or multiple houses, self-sustaining. Want to build a pond on the land so you can have water. Doesn't matter. But how feasible is this for us to have something that's a family-based business? We can get everybody, quite a few people out of the city, be self-sustaining on something that we all own as a family. Okay, so keep that in mind as these things happen. Okay, parents and children partnership. Children, partner with your parents. Get an agreement that your parents will be taken care of, or get your parents to help you with land. It being both of your name is not something you're trying to default on, or all those kinds of things. Make it, sound enough so that it's stable where it takes care of itself. Again, we guide you and help you out with that. So it becomes a business where it produces, because there's grants out there for you that's going to make it self-sustaining, especially if you want to do anything with the elderly. Elderly contributing income, youth contributing labor. So bring the elderly people onto your land. They could help you, because that $900 they were paying somebody else for rent. Imagine if they can help you with that, and you got 2 to 3 different people helping you on your land. For one, it completely covers your mortgage. Completely. And then that person take care of themselves. That $900 they were paying for income, that didn't cover their food. They were buying their own food. But now they're able to help you out a little bit more, because you're on the land where there's food that everybody can work and grow. And now they can save money, even more money, because they don't have to spend so much on produce. You know what I mean? So there's a lot there. So don't sleep the elderly. Bring our people in, give them a hug, and then let grandma go ahead and get them biscuits going, like them old country biscuits. We used to go to my grandma's house, and she had a big jar, call them cookie jars. She had a bigger jar of biscuits, and every time we would get a fresh biscuit, and it filled one hand, because they cooked. We losing all this, how to cook from scratch, how to make biscuits, and all those things. We're losing a lot of this because we're not taking care of our elderly. Okay, let her teach our children. Okay, so and they contribute to labor, because a lot of the elderly can still babysit. They can still help you out. They keep an eye on the children while you're in the field, or while you're at work, while you're doing this. Adult daycare sitting, we got services like that. Somebody can come over and watch them all those kinds of things for you and make an income. So it's so many opportunities and things we're missing that we have to be aware of those. Okay? God bless you. Let's go to the next one. I'm not done. I got a lot for y'all. I prepared this because I wanted this to be special, because I want you guys to understand that we have no excuse this day for still being in the city. Even if you get a home that's unfinished, I show you how to get campers for $1,000 or trailers for $1,000 and live in it with propane. Do what you got to do to be self-sufficient. But even if your house isn't finished and you got to work on this, you got to work on that, and you want this, that, and the other, get out of the city. Get out of the city. There's tons of alternatives that you can do, but get out of the city. And one quick thing, on your country property, when you got a beautiful home, one of the first things you do, in addition to planting seed in the ground, is also build you an alternative shelter. Build you an alternative shelter in the event of an emergency. And that shelter you're using for storage and all those kinds of things should also have a heat source, a solar source, and all those kinds of things for your backup. Remember that. Just keep that in the back of your mind, or in the front of your mind, but in the back of your mind, that one of the things you want to do is have an alternative shelter. If the cold come in, the hurricanes, all the things that's unpredictable, but yet through grace of God, we now know these things are coming and can almost predict them, because prophecy's fulfilling itself. You should also have an alternate place for you guys to be safe on your land. Okay, so think about that. So congregational buying land together, congregations, I'm sorry, it's congregational congregations buying land together. The problem with that is you don't want one church leader to say, okay, now you gave me everything you had from out of your pocket, get off our property because you did this, that, and the other. However, if congregations can go through a legal piece, because you have SDA lawyers and you have great, honest people. God says, seek not the counsel of the ungodly. If you seek the counsel of the godly, you'll put several people here that shows you how you can buy this land together and then split it up legally for everybody else. As an example of that is in Wisconsin, if the congregation bought 200 acres, the board can spend another $1,500. They can now break that down into sections. They bought 200 acres. You can, and it depends on how many people it is, you can break it down to 1/2 acre, 1/3 acre, 5 acre, 10 acre, 30 acre lots. Depends on how much a person put in. And by law, each of those persons have their own deed and or title. Okay. So think about that. That's one thing you can do, and I'll counsel you on that later. More on that as you need. So if you guys see something you need, make notes about it, and I'll come back with you with those things. Excuse me. Shared gardens. Shared gardens are key, and that's one thing I talked about. If you're in the country and you're next to another person that's Seventh-day Adventist, you guys can split that land up. You'll get more bang for your buck with you guys gardening together if you only got a smaller piece of land. But another piece of shared gardening is doing what I told you the young man did on his land. He went in the city and got 5 people to give him $15,000 a piece, and they can get all the food they want out of this acreage for that whole year. He's going to take 1/5 of all that food for that whole year. And he made 75,000 a year just off 5 of his acres. He actually had 10, 15, 25 acres. So 5 of those acres, he did shared gardenings out of it. So people come from the churches and come out there. Oh, hey, you got shared gardening. Here's two t-shirt bags. Those are plastic bags you get from the store. Fill that bag up. And they can come out once a week and get 2 t-shirt bags. And you can charge them, say, $100 a week or $200 a week or something like that. And they can come out, 2 or 3 times a week or whatever they want to do, because you know how much produce you got and you know how much those 2 t-shirt bags hold. Because if you get 2 cabbages, 1 bag's full, or 1 cabbage in some cases. But there's ways you can do that. So I'm gonna show you about that. Those are businesses you have to consider alternative ways, because people are gonna be hungry. Okay. A lot of people move to the country, can't grow hair. A lot of people move to the country, can't grow anything. They just don't have what they call a green thumb, or they seem to think they can't, but they won't do anything. So they'll rather go and buy from you. Take advantage of that opportunity, okay? Then youth, trades, and industries. You got youth, you got young people. Trade the labor services, teach them skill sets so they can get out and get busy. Plus, you can get into teaching young people. You can get into homeschooling. You can get into field training, country training, farming, agricultural, all that stuff, water, digging wells and ditches and chopping trees down, power washing houses and barns and cleaning farming equipment. So much you can get into with the youth that is unlimited, and there is money for those things. Okay, let's move over to finding land cheaply real quick. What time is it? I'm just going at it, you all. I want you to be blessed by this, but I want you to take notes on this, okay? Auctions. There's tons and tons. Literally, there's thousands of auctions that you can go to every single day. One is auctions.com. One is auction without the s.com. And that's where a lot of people I know that's got a lot of land they buy from. You can get a house for $40,000, $50,000 that's worth $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 because you have $40,000, $50,000 in cash. Does that not just save you money? Do the same thing you look at. I want that to be a country property. Does that not just save you money? Okay, Brother Kevin, I don't have $40,000, $50,000. Go there with what you have and start bidding. And then there's tax lien sales. A tax lien sale, people got a lien against their house because they didn't pay their taxes. You can go to those auctions and bid on that lien. The lowest amount of money you're going to make is a double-digit return from 18 to 33% if that person pays that lien off and you get that, and they get their house back. However, the caveat with that, if the person doesn't pay that off in the time allotted, you get the house. So think about that. Those are ways to create revenue with little money. Okay, bank REOs, or you guys know that, bank REOs, repossessions, those kinds of things. You guys know that. There's ways you can buy property. So look at bank foreclosures, the ones that banks repossess. The bank only want the amount of money the bank has coming that's left owed. The bank want to satisfy that note. Yeah, but so they put it in some of the auctions so they can make a little extra, because the auction people got to get paid as well. But you still come out ahead, especially if there's no reserve. No reserve meaning if they didn't put it, say the bank is owed $200,000 and the house went on the market without no reserve, the highest bid only went to $120,000. So the person that bid at $120,000 wins that bid. Now you automatically got equity. So when you get that deed in your hand, you automatically got equity. But when you buy the majority of these houses from an auction, once you move in, that house is move-in ready, you automatically got equity. Once that roof is done, if it's a roof issue or the water needs to be repaired, you need to put a hot water tank or what have you, windows, fix them up, paint job, all those kinds of things. If it needs those things, you automatically get instant equity. House prices went through the roof. So people look at those. And then don't forget for sale by owner. Most for sale by owners, just about all of them, you do not have to do a credit check. If you know what the owner is asking, you can give the owner what he's asking and make those payments a month. That land just became yours. However, it's not yours. It's not yours on the with the title or deed till you make sure you pay that off. So look at for sale by owners. I'll be able to help you and walk you through that a little bit better. Okay, how tax liens work. All right, so you got what's called, you got tax liens, again, where people owe their taxes and they can't pay them. So the county you're supposed to pay your taxes in, or the city and or the state tells you, hey, we just took your property for a tax lien. You're still living there. That person's still living there. But somebody else buys that lien because they sent the lien to auction, because remember, that state, that county, that city just want their taxes. They just want their money. So you still have, they tell you, you got a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is, whatever that time period is, usually it's a year, to pay that off, or that you lose the property. So, but what they have to do now is they'll know that they have to pay double-digit returns, and it's usually between 18 and 33%, average about 20, 22%. So the worst case scenario, you're an investor that if you can wait on your money, you're going to make double-digit interest. You don't get that in no bank. What the only big banks give you no interest nowadays. So you're gonna make a lot of money. So that's why a lot of people do that. The caveat again, or the other side to this, is that if the person doesn't pay that off and get that lien back from you, that tax redeemable lien, that he loses his house. Now, if that lien, if that's just a regular tax lien, not a redeemable tax deed sale, that's just a lien. If you okay, you good to go. But if it's now, let's go to redeemable versus a non-redeemable state. You got some states that you can't redeem that back. So it becomes a tax deed sale. You got some you can't redeem that back. You can't pay it back. You lost it because the time you can't. Once that person goes to that auction and wins that bid, he now, just like buying a used car, you get the title. You go down to Secretary of State and sign it over to your name, or DMV and sign it over to your name, Department of Motor Vehicles. Same way here. So you got some states, like in this country, half the states are tax lien, half the states tax deed. So it's just like you got states that's got redeemable tax liens and non-redeemable tax liens. Once you lose it, it's done. It's done. Not it is done. It's done. Okay. So opportunities for land ownership. These are hundreds of ways that you can do opportunities for land ownership. Okay. You even got abandoned properties. You got ancestors who have properties. You got people whose cousins and grandmas and stuff that don't want to live where grandma lived. Start talking to people. My wife would tell you, we got in the car in the city, started driving out in the country, just pulling up in people's driveways because they were out there talking. And we start talking. You know anybody got land for sale? You so and so and so and so and so. And people open up and tell you, well, there's a place on down there on the way by where Mr. Ed used to live. I think they selling that place. Nobody want to live there no more. We were finding all kinds of things and opportunities. So start talking to people, but there's tons of opportunities for land ownership. The government has lots of programs for land ownership via loan applications or grants and services and not-for-profit organizations, all kinds of ways. The government has lots of ways for you to own property. They exist. They really do. Okay. So auction.com, bidforasset.com. Let me tell you real quick about bidforasset.com. People write these down. Bidforasset.com is not so much an auction site, but it is. It shows you all other counties around the country that also does auctions. And when it comes up with a big map of the United States. If you put your map on one state, it shows you the auctions that they're representing there, that they have there. It doesn't show you all the auctions that's in that state, because you can go to, let's say, the state of Wisconsin. Every town in the state has its own auctions, multiple. Every city in the state has its own auctions. Every county in the state has its own auctions. Every state has its own auction. The police have their own auctions. The IRS, the government, the .gov, they have their own auctions. The FBI has auctions. There's so many auctions per county, per state, per city that is unbelievable, okay? So Bid for Asset just shows you some. They even show you how to auction off jewelry, paintings, and stuff like that you have. You'll even see some $0 or $1 reserve, $1 reserve auctions. So that means no reserve, okay? Then you see your local sheriff auctions. All your sheriff departments around the country has auctions, people. Go to the sheriff sites and look up auctions and call them. Where are your auctions listed? Where are your auctions listed? They're there. Government surplus auctions, properties. Government surplus auctions and sheriff auctions do more than just houses. They do cars, they do farm equipment, they do all kinds of things there. Boats, all mobile homes, all things that they repossess from either drug seizures or tax seizures or foreclosures, all of that. There's a lot more there, okay? So those are things that's there, okay? So here we go. So buying large and subdividing. We talked about this briefly. Let me break it down for you. So if you're buying or purchasing 20 or 40 acres, right? You can divide that by half, 1 to 2 acre parcels, and resell that to people. Of course, you're going to make a profit. The Bible says be the lender, not the borrower. But you don't have to overcharge people. But it's easy for a person to afford 1 acre, which is a lot of land. It's the size of a football field up to the 80-yard line. So it's easy for a person to buy 1 or 2 acres than it is for them to buy 20 or 40. So by you subdividing your land, you just made it affordable for you to sell land to other people. Now you got a significant income. They're paying you cash, by the way. So now you just made yourself a significant income. So buy 20 to 40 acres or more, and then subdivide that. Divide that into acres, on 1 to 2 acre or 3 acre or 5 acre parcels, and put a very nice price on there. You're not ripping nobody off. You can't do it. You can't do it. You're going to do fair trade, people. We're going to do fair trade here. We got to stay above board and right with God. Sell parcels to pay entire loan. Sell those parcels off to pay off your entire loan. So in other words, listen to this. If you used a credit card or a debit card, or if you used your mortgaged that, you took out a loan to buy that land. People say, don't borrow money now. If you did, and then you did subdividing, you can now use that subdividing principle to pay the whole mortgage off. Now you own it outright. You don't owe anybody. You just used your smarts. Please don't let anybody tell you you can't do that. Okay? Because that's 1,000% legal and you can. Sell parcels to pay off the entire loan. The Bible says become the lender, not the borrower. Okay? So you're going to be blessed. Excuse me. You're going to be blessed by that. Okay? And I can walk you through that anytime, guys. Reach out. All right. So there's a lot of things here that you can do. So I wanted you guys to see this and know what's there. So at this time, I was going kind of fast. I got through all that. There's a few more things here I want to do, and then we're going to open up for question and answer. So I got a few more slides. So bear with me just a little bit longer. Leasing your land for income. Lease farmland. So if you got 60, 80 acres, you inherited from grandma, but you only living on 1, 2, 3 acres. That's all you're using. Well, you still got another 50-something acres. Let's break those down into lease areas. You can either lease the whole plot to somebody, or you can lease various plots to various people. That's income, everybody. That's income. Okay, they lease it for that year, or they can lease it for 5 years. They have to pay you for that up front, or whatever you're leasing it for, and then pay you annually if they're annually. That's money. Lease tiny home spaces. All right, people, you want to bring your tiny home and put it on my property? Here you are. And most of those tiny homes are going to have solar panels anyway. And then if you put in one big old well, what's useful, where people can use it, or let them worry about that if they lease in space, all those kinds of things, take it from there. Lease for agricultural grants. You can lease your land you own for agricultural grants. Okay, so Brother Kevin wants to lease some farmland, all right, because I got a grant for agricultural. Brother Miller has 80 acres, but he's kind of old, him and his wife up in age. And my grant, I'm going to get an okay from Brother and Sister Miller. If I get approved for this grant, can I lease your land for X amount, $150, $200, or $25 an acre, whatever you want to lease it for? I know land is leasing for $7 an acre, whatever you want to lease it for. Okay, $200 an acre being high, literally. But still, if they say, okay, you put that into your grant prospectus. Now when that check comes, you give them their money. And you now have land that you can utilize, okay? And how you can utilize that land, you guys have in an agreement, okay? So lease for renewable energy. You can do the same thing. You can lease land for people to put solar things on for renewable energy, and you can sell that energy back to the city or to the energy companies, those kinds of things. There's a lot of things you can do with land. Building real income streams, agricultural, farming, taking food back. I'm telling you, selling food, selling fresh produce. If you guys go back last month and look at last month's news, corn in 11 states, the Midwest Corn Belt, corn is killing people. People are dying from cancer and disease because of corn. Look at all the chemicals it takes to keep the weeds from growing in corn. That's now in that food, okay? That's why we had the corn. We almost out of that now, so you guys, we got to take that off our website. So we had so much corn that was open pollinated that came from the 16th century, and that corn's so great. But people, this corn they use that's Roundup Ready, that's by Monsanto, you can't even replant it. It's sterile. But then they spray all the stuff on it, and the corn comes pink and all those colors. Why is corn pink? Because it kills the weeds. And then they come back and they spray something on top of that so that weeds don't grow. Now that's in people's system and it's killing people because this body is God's tabernacle. The devil don't care. He wants the dollars, and he don't even need it. He just wants you dead. He just wants you destroyed. So let's do agriculture. Let's do holistic food and keep people happy. There's a business there. These are building rural incomes, people. Let's grow organic, good, wholesome food for people. Beekeeping. Bees do 2 things that are big. They do 3 things that are big. They sting you in the wrong spot. That swells up real big. But bees produce honey. And then bees pollinate. So they'll take spores from the male plant to the female plant, vice versa, and so plants grow and produce. So bees are even good to have around. So beekeeping. And then people have a business of selling queen bees. Food preservation. That's a business you can have in the country, whether you're hydration, freeze drying, selling it fresh produce, clean, getting it to the cities immediately, flying it out because you're doing microgreen stuff like that. That's money. You can do that immediately, and you will not run short on dollars. Trade. There are trades that you can trade for services. You can trade, right? And then there's trades you can do in the country that are so key. And that's why we have Healing Proper Short Course Academy to show people the trades and all those kinds of things. And then online businesses. Those things you can do in the country because you can make money without having to leave your door. Okay, because it's an online-based business, like we own an online academy, Healing Proper Short Course Academy. So all these things, we show you how to set those things up as well. Okay, so no shortage on things that we can do. We just have to change our mindset. We have to change our mindset, family. Sustainability and agricultural, greenhouses, okay, market gardening, community supported agricultural, organic certification. Let's go over each of those individually. So greenhouses, you can get those through your grants. I gave you guys a website like thomasnet.com that lists every manufacturer throughout the United States and Canada that you can buy all these greenhouses and stuff you need below wholesale from the manufacturer. Market gardening, you can have your own market on your property and people will come from miles and miles and miles away if they know they're getting great, wholesome food to feed their family. Nobody want to knowingly feed their family cancer or disease or sickness. So when they know your stuff is organic or clean and good and wholesome, you don't use pesticides, they're coming to you. We're going to talk about organic with the last piece of this. Community supported agricultural. That's where you get the community to commit to buying wholesome food if you bring it into the city. Okay, guys, I know what you all like. I know green tomatoes, broccoli, okra, Brussels sprouts, collard greens, cabbage. I'm bringing that to the city every so and so at such and such a time. And then they come and get it. If they meet you there and they get it for you. Almost nowadays, it'd be better if you know what people want specifically, you just deliver door to door, but you don't want to get mugged. But if you're in a well-lit, outstanding spot right on the corner of a main street and you got all that stuff going on, you can actually have a great community-based piece. Go right to a church and have community-supported agriculture where you bring in fresh produce into the church. And don't forget to donate some of that to the food pantries and the shelters. We do something called shelter in place. That's what we do here. And we go right to the shelters. The shelters don't have to come out. We go right to the shelters, the battered women's shelter, the homeless shelter, the men's shelter, those kinds of things. Okay. Now, organic certification. The organic certification, your land has to be proved after the 3rd year planting. They come out and they certify you organic. When they do that, then you can register and tell people you got organic. Other than that, that's something that has to be certified. It may vary in different states, but that's typically the same way because a lot of ground you got, if nobody's ever planted on it, it's a lot easier to get that. But if they planted on it before, it takes a long time to get all those toxins and chemicals out of the soil. So organic has to be proven for 3 years for sure. Okay. All right, let's go here. Small rural industries. So you guys can learn carpentry, herbal remedies, tinctures, all those kinds of things, canning, preservation, and handmade goods. You can literally open up a market on your land. You see those Amish or those Mennonite sheds and all those things, or those box containers you can buy. Our neighbors up the street got one called Lens Crafters. Their last name is Lens, Lens, and their wife does crafting, so they're called Lens Crafters, like the eyeglasses. And her container opens up on the weekends, and it's lit up, and you literally walk in the container. She's got shelves on both sides, and some of the beautifulest artwork and things that you'll see that she does. Open during the week 1 or 2 days, and opens on the weekends. And she's done excellent work. So you literally, but they got a sign way up in town that says Lens Crafters is open Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever days they open. So you can have businesses on your country property because remember, you're not hiding there. Okay, so you can have businesses there and sell all these things that you're doing. All these things make you sustainable. Again, carpentry, whatever plumbing, electrician, you got all these skill sets. Train your kids, train your youth. Babysitting, daycare, homeschooling, teaching, Sabbath school, all those things. So many things you can do. It ain't funny. Again, herbal remedies, canning and preservation, preserving everything like that, and homemade goods. You better grab some of these older people and bring them in with you so they show you how to do these things. So urban income now. This is for you that's still in the city. That's scared, not scared, but scared. That want to need to get out of the city. I even put together something here to give you some ideas on how you can do things in the city to make enough money strictly for you to get out, not for you to stay there. Okay, so even with our Healing Proper Short Course Academy, it gives you tons of things like electrician for beginners. That's the immediate one. The middle one, then we got intermediate, and then we got advanced. Same thing with carpentry, plumbing, various ones. We got 3 courses in some of those, but these courses are very inexpensive. And they're 6-week courses, and they're online courses, but they show you how you can get started making money from day one. Each and every last one of the courses show you how you can get started making money almost right away because you're going to use the skills like lawn care, but not like you've seen lawn care before. Okay, power washing, but not like you've seen power washing before. This comes with everything, even how to reach TV commercials, advertisement, sponsorship, grants, loans, all of that. Our courses are packed with completion, with things that's going to benefit you. But I show you how to do these things. So urban income, start a small business whilst you're still in the city, because it's really inexpensive to do that. You even know what point you need to have a licensing. Some cities, depends on what you're doing, don't require a license immediately. Like if I'm selling vegetables in Wisconsin, right? As long as I'm not cutting that vegetable, I don't need a license to sell any vegetable. So in the cities, you got to know if you need peddler's license. Like in Chicago, you need a license to do anything. Okay. But so find out what the criteria are, show you how to set your small business up in the city and get moving. Okay. Stack income streams. So if there's multiple ways that you can now reintroduce yourself, and you can start to build up income. I told somebody that, they told me I was doing a Ponzi scheme. I'm like, Ponzi? I'm telling you how to reintroduce yourself, not give me anything. And they told me I was doing a Ponzi scheme. I'm like, So some people just don't want to do things, and they'll look for excuses. Come out of that. Come out of her. Babylon is falling, is falling. These are ways that you can make income. Build capital for relocation. That's the whole purpose. When you get your money, that's your money, not Kevin's money. Keep your money and build for relocation and get yourself out of the city. Okay? So let's do this. Evaluate possessions. See what stuff you got. Sell unused items. We're downsizing for the move now. I'm getting toward the end. Sell unused items that you're not using. Some people still got stuff wrapped in a box, brand new, never used it, bought it 10 years ago. Okay. Convert assets into cash and prepare for low debt lifestyle. Okay. And as you're doing that, bless you, iPhone. Now go ahead and put your mute on. Bless you, iPhone. Put your mute on there. So prepare for low debt lifestyle. And then, because you're downsizing for the move. But while you're doing these, also hit up realtor.com, century21.com. Also hit up all those websites. Find out what counties you want to move to. Google, give me a free listing of the counties in North Carolina or Minnesota or Wisconsin or Texas or Illinois. And Google give you a free county map, because if you just say county map, they're going to make you pay for it. They say free county map. And then in those counties, you start to look at counties on realtor.com and see where the country properties are. And then with realtor.com, do the pricing you want to be in, how many bedrooms you want, all those kinds of things, and set it and start looking for property. Then find out the real estate companies in those areas and call the real estate agent. Hey, yes, Kevin, I'm looking at moving into the county of so and so and so. I hear you handle that area. Do you have any properties that are fixer-uppers or handyman specials, country properties that may have had a well on it, electric, or a house, even if the barn may be falling in, or if the house may need some work? Let me see those. I want to see that listing. Can you send me about 10 or 15 of those listings if you have any? Oh, no, I don't have any, but my buddy does, or so-and-so do. Or do you got any inexpensive houses or just low prices? Send me a list of the lowest things you have. You'll be surprised what you get. You get such a big bang for your buck, it's not funny. Okay? So evaluate your possessions, sell your unused items, convert assets into cash, and prepare to leave. Okay? Property appraisal and value gaps. Sell your high-value city house. Have that house appraised. You see what it's appraised for. You automatically gonna see you're gonna get a profit right there. Pay it off and be ready to move, get out of there. Sell that house, use that money, get your country property. When you know what it appraised for, start looking for your country property immediately. That's like immediately, but faster. Immediately. Start looking for your country property. When you make that sale, you be gone. Okay. If you got enough money, then you can go ahead and start acquiring that country property early. Then when you make the sell on your city property, you're out of town. You get out of there. Keep equity. Okay, so buy low cost rural homes. So buy low. You're not looking out to go to the country. You're coming out of $400,000 house in the city. You're not looking to go into a $400,000 house in the country. So if it was $400,000 in the city, you're not looking for $400,000 in the country. In the country, stay around 200, 175, 225. Look and see what options are available per county, and you're going to see that there are great values. I showed this to a gentleman, and he said, "Wow, I never considered Wisconsin," but I showed him a bigger bang for your buck. Okay, and then you can pay that off with cash. So consider that and think about that. Okay, so keep equity as cash for sustainability. What that means, keep the equity you make in your home. So if you sold that home, you had a home in Chicago that was worth $400,000, but you would end up buying your country property for $279,000. You were able to keep all of that equity, $111,000 or so equity. Keep that money. Don't run out and spend that money on anything, because you're paying for your home cash already. So that equity you have extra, keep that money for sustainability. of course, buy the things you need, but buy all those off your regular income. Now you got something that you can be stable with. Okay, buying what you need for storage and helping others. Okay, keep that in mind, please. Keep equity as cash for sustainability. Okay, determining land needs. Water access, make sure you got water access on your property. Sandpoint well, regular well, drill well, all those kinds of things. But make sure you definitely got sand well with a solar. Preferably, you can get a well with a solar system on it, solar pump, all those things on there. In the event everything goes kaput, you got solar to draw that water up out the ground. Soil quality. Check your soil quality and know what's going on there. All those things you can do, send those off and have your soil tested. There's kits you can buy, tell you what's in your soil. Okay, distance to town. You need to consider how far you are to town. Don't forget the zombie apocalypse. Ooh. If they can walk to you if you're 15, 20 miles away, they can walk to you in 15, 20 hours or something. You don't want to be that close to the city. If you're walking to me, it takes you an hour when you get off the highway just to get to a road that gets anywhere near us when you get off a highway. I'm so happy with where we are. It ain't funny. But and then there's another road, a distance to Walmart is an hour. It's an hour. And that's at high speed, literally. I would not pull your leg on that. So you want to be at a great distance. So check your distance to town to make more things more secure for you, but also so that you can help people and that's in your zone or your area. Zoning awareness. Find out what you're allowed to do on your land in those zones. Find out if you can break your land down into different lots and sell it, which usually you can. Find out if you can have an agricultural business, which usually you can. Find out what you can and cannot do in those zones, okay? So you need to know that. Can I put an outhouse on my land? Well, Wisconsin, you can do almost everything on your land, but when you go to put an outhouse, something little as an outhouse, you need a permit. Not saying you guys have an outhouse. I'm just telling you that's weird. I'm like, you can build a whole house, have everything redone. You don't need this. But to go put an outhouse, some people still got dated laws and things. That's interesting. If you go, you can have a well put in. But if you go to put a sandpoint well in where you're just taking a hammer and driving stuff in the ground, you got to have a permit. Some places you don't. You just put as many as you want in the ground and you're good to go. You need to check your zoning for those things. Okay? So do that. Check your zoning. Okay, almost there. Water pump and soil prep. Wells and filtration. Make sure you have multiple sources of water. Well, Kevin, I got a well. Yeah, but do you have a second one? Okay, or do you have a stream? Or do you have filters for the stream? All those kinds of things. So you can have electric well, but do you have a solar well? You can have a sandpoint well, okay? So consider all those things. You can have solar setup. Now, your solar setup doesn't just not have to be for your home. Remember, I told you, when you get your home on your land, also have you a second property where you have another building in case of emergencies. You get a fire, you get cold, the pipe stop working, you don't want to freeze to death. Have another place with your fire with a wood burning stove in that and all that, but you could also have solar panels on the top of that, so you got energy. So make sure you have a full solar setup for your house, for electric, and for your wells. Okay. Soil regeneration. You want to know the things that take to regenerate your soil. You want to rotate your crops. You want to know what crops complement your soil. You want to know about winter crops. Okay, what to plant to keep everything covered. You want to look into all those things. All those are not hard to find. And then composting. How do you develop compost? What stuff don't do good with composting? Where to put your compost bin so you don't make the bears mad, and the bears don't make you mad when you sneak up on them while they eating and munching. So put that compost somewhere where it's completely visible, but way away from your house, because that stinky, rotten odor that builds up, you have to know how to rotate that and show that, but steam and everything build up, and then rotate all that, but know where to put that so that it's visible when you go out to that composting area. And then know how to use compost, what kind of compost you want based off what it is that you're planting. Okay, so all of that. And then dehydration. You want to look at that for food. This is food preservation, guys. Dehydrating, drying things out because they last a lot longer. You can seal them in those Mylar bags, seal all that up. Canning, okay, all the vegetables, fruits, all kinds of things people do can. Preserve those, get them on the shelf. Buy your stuff at Sam's Club, your bulk jars, all those kinds of stuff. You can order them wholesale, but by the time you pay for shipping and handling, you could have just went to Walmart, Sam's Club, or somewhere and got those jars. Okay, food storage crisis. Prepare for it. Prepare for food storage crisis. You're not going to be eating Burger King. You're not going out to no restaurant. It's not going to happen. Prepare for that. Can and preserve things that you really like to eat. But more than that, can and preserve things that you know is good for you, nourishing. Beans give you sustenance and protein, those kinds of things, and lentils and all those things. Prepare to store all these things up. Have a seed bank. Have a seed bank, okay? Because those things are key. So have a seed bank, people, so that you can grow, 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 and grow. If you're buying fruit, if you got an organic market near you, if you go there and you buy organic fruits and organic fruits and some vegetables that have seeds in them, and you know it's organic, it's been verified. Save those seeds from that fruit, cantaloupes, stuff like that. Don't just throw them in the trash can. Dry those seeds out and save those seeds and store them properly. Because if it was organic, chances are you got good seeds that will produce. And if it's not organic, chances are it's going to be genetically modified, those kinds of things. A lot of them don't grow anyway, but when they do, you don't want to eat them. So make sure you got good seeds, okay? And then save those seeds. Don't throw those away. Okay, so I wanted you guys to be prepared for these kinds of things. Evangelism in the rural areas, you thought we was going to miss God. Okay, reaching isolated families is going to be key. Establish who you are. Let people know who you are. Go pass out a book. Go drop this off. Give them this. You can't put things in people's mailbox because it's illegal. It's a government property. But you can knock on their door, or leave some at the door, and just go there with 2 books in your hand. Say, I'm leaving this for you. I'm your neighbor. I'm so and so. In there, you can have a business card or your phone number and all those things on there. If you need anything, call me, and then you can go away. Okay, but tell them also, when you get a chance, make me a carrot cake, and then y'all can ship that to Brother Kevin. Okay, so do Bible studies. You can offer that to people in the community. You definitely want to do it at your home. If you got country property, do it outside. You can do the parks. If you're the city, if you got a little country city not that far away, every once in a while, go into that country city and start into that park area and start doing Bible studies and line up your children and family help, and people going to start to gather around. Watch what I tell you. Health ministries. There's lots of grants and stuff available for health ministries, but also in the country, please establish one immediately. There are grants available to even help you kick those things off, give you tiny homes and all that stuff. You can have communities right there. And then youth engagement. There's so much money and grants available for youth engagement as you get them involved. It's urban and rural. Rural is so much better because you can do so much training, camping, hiking, hunting, fishing, boating, building, sewing, welding, mechanic. Teach all that in the country. Self-sustaining, agricultural, hands-on, how to distribute, how to drive a tractor, all that. So much money is available for that. It's unbelievable. Trust me, anything to do with any of these, there is lots of money available for those things. Corporate living models, okay? Corporate living models, okay? Multifamily compounds. Compound is a word I do not like. We don't want, you can have multi-family compounds where all y'all are family. That's different. You can't do that because you're family and everybody knows everybody's role. But don't use compounds when you're talking God's people, Seventh-day Adventist people, because there's a problem. The head of that may get mad at somebody and kick people out in the cold, and that's happening right now where people don't have anything. So don't go into a compound model where these people are not your family. If you're going into a model where you're moving on land with other people, have rights agreements and writings, have papers where this part of the land is mine, have that in writing. I'm leasing this land, so that it's because some of those cases you have to go civil law. You have that in writing and in full agreements, and you can have attorneys or consultants help you tie all those things in and write all those things up, and then you have those things notarized with the seal. Like the 4th commandment being God's seal. Y'all like how I worked that in there? Okay, so let's do that. Okay, if you're going to go there, but don't do where 500 different families get on one compound and the guy says, well, y'all messed up, I don't like y'all. He took all your money, but now you kicked out with nothing and nowhere to go. That's against God. Ellen G. White writes about that. Okay, so shared food systems. That's key. That's awesome. So everybody's working together to grow this food. Somebody cultivates, somebody plants, somebody, everybody's harvesting, somebody's processing, somebody dehydrating, somebody's canning, everybody's sharing everything. Okay, everything's equal. Keep those things in mind. And then you're also building up enough where you got a shed up front where the public can come by and buy. That puts money in the fund to keep everybody going. I'm almost done. Let me drink some water, y'all. I haven't drunk no water. Then I'm finna give y'all these 10 websites. Watch this. Thank you. I had to get a little drink in there so I can get my voice back. So listen, top 10 websites for cheap land. Auction.com, okay? Bidforasset.com. Go there with Bid for Assets, hang out. When you click Bid for Asset, when you put the arrow over each, there's a problem, however, I see with the state of Pennsylvania. I don't know what that problem is. California is humongous. But when you look at New York, you won't see an auction because land sells so much. But when you look at Pennsylvania, which is right next to it, you always see 2,000 or 3,000 auctions. Now, granted, an auction is not one property. An auction is a county that has multiple properties. But something, for instance, Pennsylvania is always loaded, y'all. Real quick, let me show you an example real quick. I'm straying off course here. I'll let you do it later. Go to bidforasset.com and it comes up. You'll see the basset hound dog there. And then you see the map. put your arrow anywhere in any state, and then you'll see the auction. Click that. It'll show you all the counties that's having those. They'll show you how much they charge for you to register there for you to bid on that county. And you can bid on all the properties in that county. However, if you want to bid on 2 counties, you got to put up another, I think, $500 for another county. And if you don't win a bid, you get all your money back. So that's bid for asset. Landwatch.com, landsearch.com, landflip.com. All these are great sites to find good, inexpensive property. Govdeals.com, there's all kinds of things you can find at GovDeals. They have land, housing, vehicles, trucks, all kinds of things at GovDeal. Zillow.com/land, Zillow. Everybody says Zillow, but put the /land in there, and then you'll see what's available right there. Okay, and then tax sources, tax sellers, resources.com is a great site for you to find anything that has to do with people. Again, people lost properties, and some people just simply buy them up and they're just putting out there to sell for the taxes. When you're trying to make that little money back, they bought it for taxes or selling you something that's inexpensive where you cover the taxes. They got all kinds of deals out here. Okay, realtortrack.com. I have not been to that site. That site I have not verified. So you go to that site and you check it out. But USDA property listings I have been to. There's a lot there. There's even areas that we're going to be talking about soon where you guys can still get free land, but you're going to have to move out somewhere where ain't nobody at. But even in parts of Arizona, parts of New Mexico, there's areas like that that still have books of land. As you look at it, you don't see nothing but dry dirt around you. But once you get massive groups of people moving in there, if you do a grant, 500 tiny houses, and you put your own wells and stuff in there and all those kind of services, stuff you want to put in there, boom, that grows immediately. You even put your own store in there at that point. So look at all those things, okay? So now as I wind down to my last few slides, Healing Proper Short Course Academy is who we are. So you can reach us at healingproper.org for the classes. We got entrepreneurship training. We show people how to start all their own businesses in a 6-week piece. Those courses start going live January 1st, and then we'll start. So people start attending classes in March. These are 6-week courses. Our courses are very so inexpensive that it ain't funny. So you guys are going to see all that, and their trades, their skills, and they're complete. Even show you as you get an introduction to the course, it even shows you how to market and advertise yourself as you build up those skills. And it's set for you to have 1 day in class and 3 days at home of work that you have to do and must turn in. You got awesome teachers and instructors that's going to be teaching these. There's a superintendent for the whole academy, all kinds of things there. You get so much out of this because you even leave with a bundle. You even know how to fill out grants and what grants apply to you in your particular field, how to qualify and apply for all of the micro grants, how to set your business up, when to bring in legals and lawyers and accountants and all those things, how to start from A to Z, how to reintroduce yourself as your business start growing, how to reinvest in yourself, not Kevin, how to reinvest in yourself and duplicate yourself in your own business. So now you make even more revenue. All that's laid out for you. You get to take all that home with you. In addition to that, when you graduate, you get a package that has all of the grants you qualify for, the exact way to walk through them, A to Z, how to fill all those out. You also get registered with our company, like Angie's List, so you can be listed as a person that can now do that job. You got so many other resources there and how to match up with other people that's like-minded like you to get going. Again, how to market yourself from A to Z and how to move directly into advertisement of who you are. The most inexpensive ways we show you up to the higher ways, your whole social media package, all that's there. It's all included in the course, okay? And those courses are inexpensive. And when I tell you inexpensive, they start at $399. The only courses that are more are the teachers instructors courses that are $799, and they get so much for $799 to be a teacher and instructor, because eventually we'll be hiring more teachers and instructors, but they have to learn certain things. And they get, in addition to that, for that $799, guess what they get? They get 10 businesses. They get 10 various different courses out of the 80 courses that they learn that they want to master in. But now those are there. So say, for instance, they didn't want to do anything else for $799, they can at least run all their own businesses. They got 10 with full resolve from A to Z and all those grants they qualify for. So everything I did here was meant to be so a person doesn't necessarily need us again, because we don't have a lot of time. So I want people to be self-sustaining and fully on their own. So that's why we set this up like this. So it benefits. And one of our goals here at Their People Ministry, even, we want to be able to give people keys to their own home and their own land through the grace of God. So that's always my prayer. Kay celebrating, Kay, I got my own place, I got this, I got new land. We want people who has nothing, who've been praying to God for help, to see that there's opportunities here, that there's things that they can do. Okay. So one of the things that we also do at Healing Proper is grant review, grant writing training, uploading supplement documents, all those kinds of things, increasing funding opportunities. These are things that you're going to learn: how to increase your funding opportunities, how to make more money, how to upload supplements and documents. You're going to find all that with this grant pack consulting service. We do all those fun things so you don't simply have to. As I told another gentleman, I'm even on your Zoom for you if you want me to present this package to your family or your other members of what you do with your business. We help you out. So carpentry businesses, landscapes, small stores, digital services. We have lists on and on and on and on that you guys will see shortly on various things that you can take classes on and get resolved. You'll know your full criteria. Okay. So financial pooling agreements. Family contracts. If you guys want to pool in with your families, have family contracts. We show you how to do those. Shared investment agreements. We show you guys how to do that. If you want to invest in each other to help get properties or start your own business, all those kinds of stuff. We show you how to do that. Cooperative savings. We show you guys how to do that. So there's plenty of instruction there. So let me finish this up now, and we can do question and answers. Planning your exit timeline. This is what you guys need to do now. We'll show you how to do this, how to plan your exit timeline to get out of the city. We'll show you how to do that. Preparing for emergencies. We'll show you how to do that. But this is some things you guys need to do. Prepare for emergencies right now. Even if you are in the city, prepare for food fallout, food shortage, the lights going out, the roads being blocked, martial law, no water. Prepare for that where you are right now. If you don't prepare, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So prepare for that. Plan your exit timeline. How soon am I going to get out the city? You should already have that wrote down on paper. How soon am I going to get out the city? Then prepare for emergencies. And the last thing here is sell your assets strategically. Sell the things you don't need. You may not be able to do that all at one time, but strategically, because you're putting things in place, you're getting your downsizing at the same time, and you're building up revenue. You can pocket that money, and it ain't nobody business but yours. So for you guys, leaving the city safely, plan your exit timeline, prepare for emergencies right now, and then sell assets strategically. It's going to be very key. Long-term rural sustainability. You want to make sure you got water security, which means not just a well, because if the electric go out, you can't get water from that well. Also have a sandpoint well or so regular well, sandpoint well, solar well, something with a solar motor on there, so you continue to pump that up. In addition to that, rainwater. In addition to that, if you got water on your land, okay, you can get that flowing in through a filter system. So know about that. So resources for water, renewable energy. Did you know you can use water that's flowing on your land to generate energy? Look into that. You can also put solar areas there. You can put solar panels so big that you can have enough energy to sell back to the city, but you can be completely off grid and be stable and have multiple buildings with this solar setup. You can buy all this solar stuff you need yourself from the site I gave you, thomasnet.com. You can buy it right from the manufacturers. Go to YouTube and get instructions on how to set up solar, and you can hire various people. We consult you on that. Okay. And then perennial food systems, plant seeds and food that grows annually, so you don't have to continue to replant it. What's one of the biggest foods that people like? Asparagus. Asparagus is a parental. It grows all the time. So the strawberries, some things that continue to come back. Lavender. Lavender is a food. It's a bath and body. You can make soap. You can do all kinds. You can sell the flowers once you dry those out. So if you got enough land, plant perennials, things that continue to grow, saves you so much money, saves you so much time. The most you have to do is continue to weed those things, okay? So keep those things in mind, and preparing for the crisis. Be off-grid ready. Remember I told you, get solar panels on another building. In the event of power goes out, you just walk away from that one, go right into your other building. At least you have resources plus a wood-burning stove. Plan for off-grid readiness. Have your wood already cut, dried, stored, and covered. Cut, dried, stored, and covered. Then you reduce your wood down from the big trees to the logs, down to the splitting the logs, down to the kindling, starting the fire, and the kindling as small as you can get it, and put those in various stages in your house, on your porch, outside the door, further away from there, and then a little further, and then some in the field, so that you got. And you just start moving to the house a little bit at a time as you need it. But you leave those in various stages, because as wood is completely dry like it's supposed to be, and small enough like it's supposed to be when you start a fire, one match, you have your fireplace going. Okay? So consider that. Off-grid ready. Emergency kits. CB radios, first aid, with the walkie-talkies, of solar lights, medicine, medical bags, CPR bags, defibrillators. Kay's good at that. She has a medical missionary bag, a Three Angels bag that shows you all these things. So you need emergency kits. You are your first responder. Band-aids. We even got scalpels in ours. We got stitches in ours. Kay has a my sister Kay and brother Devontae, the bag they produces has fake skin with actual real stitches, so you can learn how to stitch up wounds. Okay, that's in a crisis. You'll need that. You got the tape, the stitch tape, all those things you can use as well to close a womb up. How to deliver a baby. Have all your manuals and guides and videos. Remember, I tell everybody, get the YouTube downloaded software, buy an external hard drive. It's about the same size as a cell phone. They sell those in Walmart. And you can hook that up to the YouTube downloader, go to the site, and anything you think of, mechanics, welding, delivering a baby, burns, this, that, the other, you can download all those videos and store them in your YouTube, on your external hard drive, and you got resources forever. Communication plans. Plan to communicate with your family. You guys set up a communication plan to know where people are in the event of an emergency. How do your children get to you if they're away in college? What kind of communication things do you have? You got CB radios that's not part of the cell phone tower. Put them in the car, you come back and plug into the cigarette lighter. If you got to walk, what kind of maps do you have? How do you know how to get home? What we got in the back of our car under the back is we got the new ones. They got Rand McNally. They still sell maps, people. You know how you got map on your phone? Buy the books, people. Get the books. So when that goes out, you can open up the book and say, well, if I take this highway here, and then it shows a secondary road, I can get to my mom's house, or I can get 10 hours away, all those kinds of things. Get the original maps. Remember, like people had original phone books, and now smartphones make some of us dumb. So have the original maps in there. Store them under your car mat so nobody throws them away by accident. And we have that. Okay. All right. Let me go over this. And I think I only got 2 more left after this. The Bible appeals to preparing spiritually and practically. The Bible is constantly telling us, it's warning us. Babylon is falling. The great cities, they're all done. Okay, so we got to step forward today. Let's take these steps forward to make something happen. This is the final call. I think this is our last slide. Final call. So we need to get busy. So when I'm done here, please don't do the same thing that you guys have been doing all the time. Let's do something different today. Okay, faith in God and provisions. But preparing and being ready, do you know that's showing faith in God because God has told us what to do? Do you know that's also being obedient? That's being obedient to God because he also told us what to do. So community support. Let's go. This. The Bible appeals to you. So you step forward, get community support. People going to walk through. You're going to help people in the community. Tell them why you're leaving the city. Encourage them to do the same thing. And then faith in God and bring God on your property, people. And also provisions, and you good to go. You're going to be good to go. So I'm telling you, people, trust God. Okay, so connect with us. There are people ministries, Healing Proper Short Course Academy, healingproper.org, Country Living and Training Consulting. We do all that. I thank you. I'm going to stop sharing because I can talk, as you guys saw that. And at this point, I will open for Q&A. Let me drink some water. God bless you. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, go ahead and put your hand up. This is recorded, so you will be able to get this. And I just wanted to go through and give you guys
Can I get out to the country?
And I know it was a lot of stuff. So let's start with the first hand that's up. I see Tess. Go ahead, Tess.
Maybe you can start with the irrigation or
Okay, everybody else mute yourself, please. Let's talk with Tess first.
Yes.
You can get your boxes first, and then
Yeah,
we can
somebody
see,
needs to mute.
Hold on a minute. Let me let's see who we got that's not muted. Go ahead and mute this person. Okay, Tess is first. Okay, now you go ahead. Okay, go ahead, Tess.
Okay, thank you so much for this presentation. My question has to do with a backup for my well. I do have a 1,500 gallon tank, water tank. I'm just trying to figure out what is the easiest way to get a backup for my well? Should I just get a hand pump, or should I just do something with that water tank?
I would the water tank. There's only so much you can do with a water tank because at some point in the event of a crisis, you won't get enough water. You won't have enough water at some point. However, if you do have a hand pump, I remember the old Beverly Hillbillies way back in the day. They had a hand pump in the sink, because that's how shacks were built back in the day. I would still recommend the old hand pump as well because they're brand new. You can buy those by doing a Sandpoint well. You can get all that at your big box store. But another thing you can do, Tess, is be solar ready. Have a solar well. So when you redig a well like you're finna put that Sandpoint in, attached, it's going to need to go into a heated house or a well house, something that you can keep warm, depends on where you are. But attach a solar pump to that well. And then in the event of crisis from your main well, you got a solar well or a hand pump well. So yes, ma'am.
So is that a separate well, that solar well,
Yep.
or is that just
Yep.
a solar pump onto my well?
If you can, what you need to find out is from your well digger, because we know how
Uh-huh.
far down our well is in the ground. You need to find out from the well people, what does it take to add a solar piece to your well? It may cost you more, so you have to consider that. If your pump is not that far down, I don't know what state you're in, it might be less expensive, but it's a benefit. If you but your standalone well, in addition to that one, you got one that's electric. If you can't get that solar pump on it, you're gonna need to dig a whole new well in a different spot and then attach solar to that one.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Not a problem at all. Okay. Now I see Elizabeth. Elizabeth.
Praise the Lord. You're learning, you're learning.
I'm gonna get
Good
that
evening,
name down. I'm
saints.
telling you, I'm gonna get it. Bear with me.
Okay, so here's my issue. I want to get to the country. I've been praying. I shared with, let me see, one, two, I have 9 children. So I've shared with my 4 youngest children the grant thing, because my credit is horrible. It's horrible. So I shared it with my 4 children. One got back to me and told me they couldn't find it. So I did a screenshot and then I sent it so they could see, because I know it's there because I watched 2 of them. So with that being said, I know with these grants, I believe you had said you can't owe the government anything in order to qualify for them.
We didn't say that. I know. I remember that question. You can't, like, to get a passport, you got to have debts paid and all those kinds of stuff, where you can travel, go all kinds of places, stuff like that. But to get a grant, most people do qualify for them, especially because you're trying to do something different. But a lot of these grants don't go through the government test. If you saw that presentation I just showed you just now, I'm calling you Tess. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. There are philanthropists and named foundations and other areas that are not .govs that you can also apply for grants. So it don't matter what you owe, what your credit score is, what you owe in taxes and all that kind of stuff. So there's multiple resources. So we'll have to talk on that.
Okay. Last question. I saw on the in the bookstore, it's something that you have for $19.99 with a consultant or something like that.
Yep. There's a guide there with the free 20-minute consult. You'd be surprised, only 5 people took advantage of that. That guide has so much information in there alone. My consultation is $75 if you go to our website. I put that guide out because I felt, to do that, but a lot of people just want to call you and they'll stay on the phone with you for 30 hours. Trust me, they would.
I
But I
know.
put that guide in there so people can have great resources. And then, God led me, he said, put it in there for $19.95 with the 20-minute consult. So look in the store. But when you book that, give me a call. That guys get you 20-minute consultation. That's yours. That's the commitment I made. I didn't take that out of there. I left it right there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Blessings.
Few people see that and take advantage of that. That's a good deal. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. All right. Who we got? Who else? Got your hands up? Let's go. Who we got? So I'll be talking to somebody. Go ahead, Tess. I think you're back up. Go ahead, Tess.
Yeah. My second question had to do with the backup housing.
Yes, ma'am.
Can that be a mobile home or something, or does it have to be something more solid, like a stick built?
It's a great question. It's up to you. That's your choice. It can be a mobile home. What you don't want to do with it, if it's a mobile home, is leave it abandoned. What I mean, use it as like the reason I say build a backup home, so it's something like a root cellar or another shed that you can also go in there and hang out. Like, it looks more like a little garage. Even you can park the tractors in there, warm it up all the time, keep it going, have it insulated and everything like you would a little house. But you don't have to necessarily have running water in there. That'd be a good, and it can be as big as you want it. That'd be a good place for the hand pump, the hand well, because it has systems there, and you can put solar panels on that. So in case of emergency, you got food already stored there, blankets, sleeping bags, all those kinds of things, but you also have resources there. So the mobile home, absolutely, but make sure you don't leave it abandoned and give the mobile home to the mice, because you will get those field mice. So make sure you're using that mobile home. Kids, even if it's a clubhouse for the kids, things you can hang out with, keep the electric going, and everything. Every once in a while, use that. But yes, it can be a mobile home. And then another thing you can do with a mobile home that people miss people completely miss this. As you hedge around the bottom of the mobile home, they got if it freezes there, they got electric tape that can go and wrap all the pipes. You can close that in around the bottom of the mobile home, and then you can also brick it in so it stays warm like a regular house. So you can take a mobile home and make a regular brick house, and then put solar panels on the top or off in the field to the side, and that becomes your emergency piece.
Now,
So yes, good question.
how in the world do you do that? How do you make a mobile home into a regular brick house?
Are you kidding me? You better give me a call, Tess. I'm from the
Oh
country.
my gosh.
No,
I
yes,
would
ma'am. We
love
do
to
that.
do that.
Look on YouTube. Look on YouTube. I wouldn't pull your leg because you put it on a concrete slab for one, and then you anchor it down so the wind doesn't take it. And then you look at how you take the tires and everything off of there, and you brick around there. You got to run your pipes out through, go down into your septic tank because you put a septic there as well. So you make sure it don't freeze. You wrapping the pipes with heat tape, which is electric tape. Y'all don't know nothing about that if you didn't live in the cold in a camper. We did back in the day. And you got to do that with the heat tape, put all that in the ground. And then you, with your bricklayer, you actually bricking those in. Open where your door is, where your windows are, and all that kinds of fun stuff. And then seal that all the way around. So just imagine your mobile home bricked in. So the roof is already squared away. It's going to take care of itself. Now you can put an A-frame roof on there for a snow load if you get a lot of snow. And that's really inexpensive to do. Okay?
Wow. We get a lot of strong winds. So like when a tornado comes by, they would always say, if you're in a mobile home, you need to get out.
Of course, because several reasons. Because again, the way they're structured, they're very light, and the wind can pick them up. I found that out on my land, my 40 acres. There was no building structure on my 40 acres, but I put my 3 wind tunnels up, and I had them going north. I had them going north and south when I should have had them going east and west. Because when that wind came, I had them going north and south. All 3 of them just was like. I'm like, there they are over there. I mean, I had big tunnels, but yeah, you got to know those things. But mobile home, same way. You want to, have those strategically done, anchored down. Brick gives you a lot more security, and you can do cinder blocks. Trust me. Once you consider turning it into a home, and you see how many cinder blocks you got, a brick and foundation. It turns out to be really inexpensive. Your tricks to that, however, is making sure you got panels with doors on it for you to get under that mobile home when you need to. All those kinds of things, and then putting the windows and doors in the right place. Yep.
Wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Much. I got you. All right. I see Cynthia Jefferson. Hey, Cynthia. This is the first time I've seen your name. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. Which is better? I'm at the beginning of all of this, but buying a piece of land with nothing on it or buying land with the structure on it already? Is it better to build?
I always tell people, Tess, I'm sorry I came in too soon for you, but I always tell people it's always better if you can afford it to buy the land with a structure on it, even if the structure is a dump, because it gives you where there was a well there already, where there was a septic there already, and where electric was there already. Because we bought a property that had not had any of those things put on it. So we had to bring electric in. They had to dig under the road, bring it down. And they charge you so much per feet, those kinds of things. Then we had to have so we had the electric put in. Then we had to have the septic tank put in the ground. Ordered from the big box store. They shipped it out there and put it in. But we didn't do the well because we ended up selling the property first. But we made a little money off of that. We sold that property. But it's better if you had it already done, because if the house is cruddy, you can call the fire department. The fire department and you can say, look, I'm donating y'all this house. If you guys take it away when you're done, the fire department will stage a fire, burn that back, unhook the electricity, call the city, do everything, burn that house up, haul it away, smooth off that lot for you for free. But now you got a well, electric's already there, septic's already there. You get the building.
Oh, wow.
And then another thing, if the house is not that bad, just do a complete gut job. So our country house was originally over 100 years old, but a gentleman came in who was well-to-do, and he picked the house up out the ground, took all the old bottoms out, put new bottoms in, an iron beam all the way across it. Then he built a whole new section, a basement behind it, a whole new would be a kitchen area, and a whole new main bedroom above that. And made it one big, humongous house. And he decided at some point somebody traded him a farm. He gave it to his son. His son said after a bunch of years, Dad, it's just too big for me. So it never got finished. So when we got it unfinished. And because it sat for 3 years, you had Asian beetles in there. We had to go all the way down to the stud. But what a blessing. We paid one price for it, and it increased 4 times. It was worth 4 times that off the appraisal. And I'm like, what a blessing. What a blessing. So don't sleep the old used houses, or also look at the houses that's uncompleted that people started to finish and didn't finish them. Look at the abandoned houses, look at the tore up houses, and see something, have a vision, and you'll save a lot of money.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Pauline, how are you? Pauline, you're gonna have to make everybody
Sorry,
here
sorry.
carrot cake.
I just stepped away for a minute. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I was just going to put the carrot cake penalty on you. You have to give everybody a slice of carrot cake. Hi, my sister. Go ahead.
Yes. I have two questions. One is it safe to put a wood stove in the mobile home?
It depends on what, if it's a double wide. I've seen wood burning stoves in a single wide and a double wide. There's some bricks you can buy. First, you want to there's a piece of foil that goes under, or a metal that goes under the brick that's fireproof, even they had it on carpet, but they put that under there. And then they put those set bricks in there. And then there's a fire panel that goes on that back wall inside and out with that insulation. And they had the small wood burning stove in a single, and they had the larger wood burning stove in a double. So yes. And then another things they did in the mobile home. So you have to make the wall, that back wall where that pipe goes up, that wall is out far enough, but you have to make that a fire wall by putting metal there as well, and or brick. And they got the heat bricks, those kinds of things. But you got bricks that you can put there so it doesn't get hot enough to cause a fire or cause a problem, those kinds of things. And it holds the heat in. So yes. And then another thing they did when they put the mobile homes there, if that mobile home is going to be there and it's permanent, just like I told her, you could close that in. People also build attached rooms to the mobile home. So you go out that front door and you stay on that same level, and they build a whole big living room right there, or an additional room right there. And they put the fireplace there, or the wood burning stove there. And that sends heat all over the place.
Okay, sounds
You can either
good.
make it, you can either make it as long as the mobile home, or you can make it just where it's one big living room out that door and you get that heat flowing. Yes.
Okay, now, thank you for that. Second question is, what's the best material to use for building in an area where there's tornado?
It's a tough question. Why would you want to do that? Get you another, go to another property. We just came through Oklahoma, and I was looking at beautiful big old homes there. And then I got back here. I said, go to realtor.com. I'm looking at realtor.com, and homes are incredibly cheap. And when I say, wow, why is home so cheap? Then it just reminded me it's Tornado Alley. But brick would always be the best because it can endure more wind. And then being in the ground, make sure you got a deep basement is always key too. And be aware of what can collapse on you. Make sure you got more than one way in and out of that basement even. But brick, concrete cinder blocks is always the best. Unless somebody else knows something I don't know. Because everything else is just lighter in weight.
ICS. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome so much. Go ahead, Tess.
Yes, sorry. I just wanted to add to that question that was just asked about the mobile home and the wood burning stove. Yes. There are wood burning stoves specifically for mobile homes, so make sure you get one of those.
Yes, ma'am. Yep. Now, back in the day, they didn't have those. She's absolutely right. Back in the day, they didn't have those. So you just used the wood burning stove. But if it was too big, you knew it because it overheated the place. So they just bought smaller versions. But you're right. They do have custom tiny kettle-like stoves and wood burning stoves just for a mobile home. Various sizes as well. And they're insulated very well to protect you. However, you got to make sure, you got the wood burning tools, you got the fireplace guard cover, all those kinds of things, far enough off the carpet so sparks don't fly. Be regards to children and kids because they'll get burned. You can't wait to touch it, those kinds of things. Keep all safety things there. And then another thing that's going to be so very key in the country that people miss, smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors. Not only do you have 1 or 2 or 3 that's active in the house, have 1, 2 or 3 that's on the shelf. So you got backup in case those go down, because there's going to be a period of nobody no cell, and you already have those things along with rechargeable batteries. So thank you. You're right, my sister. Okay. Shauna. I see Shauna.
Yeah, I was saying insulated concrete foam is another method to build that's DIY friendly.
There you got it. Absolutely. They got that. And they got, and then, even for, but that's actually it. For support, that'd be good. So they got some stuff can't catch on fire. They got some stuff for you that's good to go. So make sure your ceiling where that heat goes, make sure your stove is far enough down where it's not way up in the ceiling. You can't have a really high stove and a low ceiling. A bunch of things you need to consider. Can't be that close to a television, those kinds of things. So yes, you can have a wood burning stove in the house, just like she said. And there's different ones you can buy. And even baseboard heaters, because a lot of camp trailers now come with the furnaces and got the heater in the floor. You can also buy those long space electric heaters if you hook into a generator or solar power. Okay, so solar power is going to be key because it can give you electricity when the regular power goes out. So you got the long wall heaters, the old baseboard heaters go along the wall. They make those brand new. Some of them are like 5 or 6 feet long. You can put 2 or 3 of those in a trailer as well as backup. Okay, thank you, Shauna. All right, we got Betty next, and then after Betty, I see is it Kamisha? Don't beat me up if I said it wrong.
Kamisha.
Kamisha, there you are. So let's do Betty first. Betty Peterson. 3, 2, 1. Carrot cake slice for everybody from her. Okay.
Okay.
All right, go
How's
ahead.
that? How's that?
Oh, there we go. Go ahead. How are you?
Okay. Okay. So what enticed you to buy the property that you have? You bought the land and hauled in a double wide, and how much property did you get? I mean, just explain what you got and why you love
The
it.
property I got, great question. My nephew lives in Texas and he had a space in Colorado, but he wanted to get away from his grown kids. So he wanted to come and check out Wisconsin. So I took him up north. We lived down in the beginning of Wisconsin as it first starts coming out of Illinois. It's called Beloit, Wisconsin. And we knew we were getting ready to do country living. So I brought him up here to look at a cabin that he saw online that a guy was selling really cheap. And as we were talking to the real estate agent, he says, I got a piece in my pocket. They call it pocket realty. They didn't want to list it online. And he bought us 4 miles up from where my nephew was going to buy that spot. And he showed me this property that we own now. And the guy originally wanted $300,000 for it unfinished, and it's set on 3 acres. 4-bedroom, all kinds. The garage was not even up, 3-car garage, but they had poured the foundation for that. So they had put a whole bunch of money into it, right? So I got to praying for him one day. I called him on the road one day. He says, I got a horse that just went down in the trailer because he collects horses. He gave this property to his son because he got another one to put all his horses in. He does rescue horses. He says, when I get back home, I'm going to have to shoot this horse, put it down. I said, okay, I'll call you later. He said, no, hang on here. He said, let's talk. I still got 70 miles to go, but let's talk. So we got to talking about the house, and God just told me, really pray for him and pray for the horse and tell that horse to get up. I got to pray, and I said, can we pray? And I prayed, and I said, get up, horse. So long story short, he called me back later, next day or two. He says, I want $300,000 for that house, which he did. He had the for sale sign out there. We knew that. He says, that horse got up, and when I got back home, that horse acted like he never went down. He says, give me $85,000. I said, I'll see you Monday. So what a blessing. Not only were we blessed with the home, it also there's these bricks that cost $7 a piece. He gave me 2.5 pallets of those because he was a mason. Him and his sons do masonry work. They'd already bricked the house. They did he built a gable up top with hand bricks. It's really so beautiful. And I got 4 pallets of that. Then he gave me another 11 tons of bricks. All I had to do was pick them up. So it came with so much. And then when we got it, got ready to get the contractors in, went to the bank appraisal, 360 right off the bat.
Wow.
So instant equity. Same way with the property we bought for the guy wanted 20 grand for it. Nobody had ever lived on it. So we said, we'll give you 7 grand. He said, nope, give me 15. I said, no, sir, we'll give you 10. My wife said, some people don't like negotiating. I said, whose side are you on? Called him back at 10. He says, okay, give me 10 grand. We put that hot water tank. We put the well in, not the well, listen, I'm going to go slower. We put the septic tank in. I told you we got from the big box store. We didn't put any water on the property. Then we had the electric brought to the property. Had to dig under the road to bring the electric in. So we paid 10 grand for that property. We listed it for 100 with a $2,000 camper on that. We got a camper for $2,000. The guy wanted $8,900 for it. He said, make me an offer. I said, $2,000. He said, give me $2,250. I said, sold. So we put that camper on that property that we got for 10 grand. I listed it for 100. Lady gave us 65.
Wow.
What a blessing. Now, but wait, now, not wow. That was the same time the guy said, give me 85. I went right to the 401k. I said, I'll see you Monday. God timed that so perfectly. That's why I tell people, get up and get to walking, people. Step out there and trust God. And what a beautiful story. And then the 6 acres, right? It was originally 6 acres. It turned out to be 8 acres because there was an old road used to come down through here back in the old days when there was a town here. Literally, there was a town here where they did wood mills, and all that was years ago. Well, I mean, like, man, 70, 80 years ago, 100 years ago, and there was a road that used to be here. That road became wooded, and they split that up between me and the next adjacent property, so it added 2 more acres. So we ended up with 8 acres.
So are you saying you could immediately inhabit the house
Oh yeah.
that you,
Well, no, we finished. We got it finished like we wanted.
yeah,
No,
okay.
it was. He had gutted everything out, put all new stuff in there, everything, just about everything new to finish the house off. We finished the house.
Okay, so
Yeah.
did you first move into your RV? Is that what you did?
Oh, yes, ma'am. You know why? Our home in Beloit, Wisconsin, we bought in 2016 for $77,000. We had the 40-acre farm 18 miles up the road. We listed that house for sale. Somebody came from upstate New York and made us an offer of 270,000. Remember, we paid 77 for it in 2016. They made us an offer for 270 and said, "Can you be out in 30 days?"
Mm.
Do I need to tell you how fast we got out?
Yeah, 30 days,
30
25
days.
days, yeah.
30 days. No, we took advantage
Okay.
of the 30 days. They was coming in the front door. I was literally coming out of one of the 3 back doors. I was literally coming out. It had 3 back doors. I was literally coming out of the office door, loading the rest of the stuff into my van because we had campers. I had 2 campers on my farm there, and then we had a mobile camper up north at our country property. But oh yeah, we took advantage. We jumped out of there because it took care of us. And what did the house need? Well, just what God gave us. What an awesome, we have to trust God. I'm just saying. And then we
Yeah.
have to talk to people and find out about things. Ask the
Yeah.
guys, what about the properties you don't have listed? What about this? What about that?
So have you survived the winter there yet? I mean,
Oh,
are you,
absolutely. Oh,
you have?
well, I'm from Chicago.
Oh, okay,
Chicago
okay,
gets much more. Wisconsin gets weather, but Chicago gets all that weather off Lake Michigan.
yeah.
We're 1.5 hours from Lake Superior. We're good to go. Lots of snow, coldness. You got the big tanks of gas. Houses insulated fine. You good to go.
So the last question, you don't get spooky there every once in a while because you're kind of out in the boonies and
Yep.
you don't know who's coming up that driveway or whatever,
Watch this. Watch my hat. Read my hat for me.
Okay,
What does that say?
okay. You're armored up. Okay.
You
I
want to
got it.
know what my job was in the Army?
What?
Unit armorer. I
Oh
went to school
boy.
for weapons.
Well, what about us? I mean, out there.
I
we're-
get the property next to me. I got you. But no, I went to town the other day before yesterday, and I saw my first large live black bear.
Oh.
Yeah, he was awesome. No, he was trying to get into the town. He was standing right there, and he just didn't know which way to turn. And they had the people there with their yellow lights on flashing. They had to wait, I guess, for somebody to tranquilize him. If he had stood up, he would have been 7.5 feet, 8 feet tall. Because he was a big boy. And but on your land, that's why you want to have dogs. And I tell everybody that you want to have at least 3 to 4 dogs so dogs can support each other. And don't put them in the back of your house or the front of your house. If you can, put them off to the side so they can see around, so to speak. And they'll alert you to all kinds of things. And then you got motion lights. You can put up wire fences. You can put up all kinds of things. We get deer that visit every day, all day. Once in a while, we hear a growl. One time, my wife and I went out at dark and we saw some eyes looking over at us in the tree line. So we know that was an issue. Okay, so, but
All right.
I did personally see a mountain lion, but we were miles and miles away from here. We just driving around doing the tour, and I'm like, look at this fella across the road. So, but you don't fear those things because remember, biblically, God give us the power over those things, and we just good to go. Just like I was going in the other day again to do the Zoom for the grants, and it's on video. It's on my shorts. There are people, a bunch of cows coming up the road. I pull over in my van. I said, now where are y'all going? Now y'all know y'all didn't escape, trying to go somewhere. Get back home before I start back eating meat. They turned around on cue. Look on my site on YouTube, and they went back home. They came out through a fence. But that's the excitement you get in the Northwoods.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. But I quickly did put up motion lights. So if we have to walk out at night, as we walk places, the motion lights come on and light everything up. If something comes in the area, they light everything up. You can have a camera system so you can see why it's lit up, those kinds of things. That's why you want to make sure that when you're doing your where you're recycling food and all that kind of stuff. What's the name I'm looking for? Y'all just slipped my mind. You want to make sure that's way out in the field. Your compost. You want to make sure thank you. You want to make sure that's way out away from your house as well as your trash. Thank you so much.
All righty. Thank you.
You're welcome. Kamisha,
Hi, thank you. Thank you
Hi.
for all this wonderful information.
You're welcome.
I have a question. Do you have any recommended manufacturers for tiny homes and barn dominiums?
I'm so glad you are awesome for answering that question. Everybody, get your ink pens out. She said, "Do I have any recommended?" Watch this, Kamisha.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, you are now a recommended person to sell people tiny homes. Get your pen out. Go to thomasnet.com, THOMAS net.com,
Okay.
and look for tiny home manufacturers.
Oh, wow.
And you'll find the people that actually make them. You then look for tiny home sales. Who sells tiny home supplies? And you're going to find all the manufacturers that sell the tiny home toilets, tiny home furnaces, tiny home washing and dryers, tiny home air conditioners, tiny homes themselves, tiny
Wow.
home, all that. Thomas Net, for you all who've never been on this site, thomasnet.com has been around since 1896. They list every manufacturer throughout the United States and Canada. So if you need to buy anything in bulk, spices, foods, vegetables, shoes, clothes, sheets, you want to open a hotel, you want to open a dollar store, you want to get all the supplies for a dollar store, go there to that website, dollar store supplies, to open a dollar store. And you'll find the people that supply those things for 33 cents, 47 cents, those kinds of things, to open your own dollar store. You want to do a hotel, you find those sheets and pillowcases and all that, textiles to find clothes and shoes and shoestrings and handkerchiefs from the manufacturers. So everything you need. See what y'all get for coming here? Is right there. I used to be a private eye for businesses. Also with Thomas Registry, thomasnet.com. They used to be called Thomas Registry in the 80s, and they had these large green binders. In my first computer business, we had a task to take those binders and put them into a new technology called CD-ROMs. So we converted the big green books down to CD-ROM computer technology. They've been around since 1896. That's where you get, I don't care what you want to do, Kamisha. If you like flavored syrups, if you like whatever, bulk apothecary, you want to do candles, you want to do your own soap, you want to do your own materials, you want to do sewing. Everything is there, right? You want to get right with the manufacturer.
Right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. Anyone else? So I want to thank you guys, but I'm gonna lower your hand for you, Kamisha. I took care of that. If anybody got any more questions, I was not able to read the chat, but go ahead and throw your hands up. We got a few minutes, and then I'm gonna pray. We're gonna close, but I wanted this to be. Hopefully, it's been informative for you all. There's a lot that you all can do. If you go right to our website, therearepeople.org. If you choose to do a consult piece, we will consult. We'll help you. But other than that, just call us. All those kinds of fun things. If we got some insight we can give you real quick, you're gonna get it. We got an awesome team. You got Kay and Devontae Watkins there. We got our sister Trudy, our sister Nicosia. Our Canadian team is there. We got the UK. Anybody need anything at all? Reach out to us and we'll support you. Jamaica's got my sister Trudy Nicosia also handles what's going on in Jamaica. I did just put together a whole new grant update package for all of those regions and or areas as well. So I'll be launching various resources and everything available for everybody. I see Shauna. Shauna's hand is up.
Yes, what's your number to call? Or the number to call?
Okay, if I give you my secret number, Shauna, everybody gonna have it, so I'm gonna whisper it, okay? You ready? What? Shauna, if you're gonna repeat it and laugh like that, I ain't gonna give it to you because you're gonna give it out. Okay, get ready. Here we go. But you gotta text me first so I know who you are, what you want, what your needs are, so I can address that, okay? Because I get spam. Okay, so 608 295 6820. 608-295-6820. Now, Shauna, don't say it back because you talk too loud. So let me see. You got it. You got it?
Okay, 608-295-6820.
You could have whispered to 0. But okay, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So text me first, please. Text me, Kevin, to Shauna, or this is Craig or Nancy or Mike, whoever you are, what your needs are, and let me get back with you, okay? And our email is info at therearepeople.org. And if you go to consult, you'll see my brothers and sisters there. We got great consultants. We got great teams. Guys, you need to match up and take advantage of stuff so we can get you moving. Get yourself moving. You know, you really don't need us. We just, through the grace of God, we're here for you if you do need us. Because we are not selling our soul for filthy lucre, for money, nothing like that. We're going to be able to bring you things, that's services and all those kinds of fun things. Got a great 9-to-5 that we're putting together here so we can keep busy. And we're just here for you. And all these Zooms would be free. We got the Tap Match app where you guys can register with that. That's a whole $6, $5.95. Somebody told me we're ripping people off. I'm like, really? We only had 2 people subscribed. I said, y'all ought to be ashamed of y'all church, y'allself as churches getting rich off people. We only had 2 people, and they was one of them for $5.95. We had that app free for all the time we had it, and we told everybody one day you'll have to pay for it, but we kept it as free as long as we could because it was $600 a month. So now at $5.95, not $19.95, not $29.95, not $79.95, less than $6. You can match up with people to share land, move land, show your skills you got, all those kinds of things. You guys can communicate on that app. And that's the Tap Match app. If you go to our website, you'll see that. Sign up for that. When you get the resources you need, simply quit the app. Save your $6. You know what I mean? It's just there for you guys to be used by you. No money being made off of that. Okay. Now, okay, Shauna, you good? Okay, let's go to Marina, Esmerina. Did I get that right? Esmerina? Ms. Holland, Esmerina? Unmute for me. Take your time. Get that. There you go.
Sorry, I had trouble unmuting myself. Yes, Esmerna Holland, I thank you for all you do here. It's so much information. I feel like it's way too much for me, but I was just wondering, and I had asked in the chat, you mentioned elderly that could use help. I have a heart for elderly people. I have the skills as far as like just the work of my hands, having been a stay-at-home mom for many years. And so is that this app you just mentioned where I could go? And I did fill out a profile on the website on There Are People, but I wasn't sure what else I was supposed to do in order to connect with somebody if there is something available.
Yes, you can go register with that app and put all your insights in there. But are you saying you want to be able to help and take care of people?
Yes, help and take care of people in exchange for a home in the country, or if it's something that I could do some kind of care, maybe garden. I've often thought of maybe a ministry where I could garden.
That's what I'm going to ask you now. What state are you in?
I'm in Tennessee right now.
Okay, our sister Kay is in Tennessee. Why don't you match up with Kay? I was just going to tell you to consult with us because there's something we can put together and help you with and show you the grants and money is available for you. But now that our sister Kay is there, Kay, if you're still on, put your number in the chat. And Ms. Holland, you got my phone number, so you call me back if Kay's not there, and we'll match you up. But Kay is there. So Kay's going to put her information there for you. I think she'll reach out to you. Okay?
Okay. Okay, thank you.
If you see her, you guys can just message anybody. It says Kay in the chat. It says Kay Tap, and she said as a co-host. Reach out to her, instant message her, and you guys exchange because she's in Tennessee as well. You better catch her now because that's the one who said she just got a new property in Kentucky. She getting ready to head out of Dodge.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. She's a medical missionary too, so that's going to be great for you all.
Okay, and I was going to ask you that the app is called Tap Match app, or do
yes,
I?
ma'am. Yeah, that's it. It's on our website, therearepeople.org. That's what TAP stands for. There Are People.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You'll see it there. The Tap Match app.
Okay, thank you very much.
No, thank you so much. Okay, I see Victor.
Hey, good afternoon, evening.
Hey, good afternoon, good evening, Victor.
I know, right? You got me again. Didn't I just talk to you last night, right?
I think you did, sir.
Yes, sir. We got to stop meeting like this.
No, it's
but
okay.
listen, I know, as you were talking, my head went spinning again because you give too much information, right? It's overqualified.
I apologize.
But anyway, I know, right? But anyway, I got on the phone and talked to a friend of mine. She has a building that she purchased. She wants to do medical missionary work. And I thought about you and everything you're saying. So we need to talk to her ASAP. Can we contact you tomorrow? I'm still on the other kick. Don't get me wrong. But this came, I know you multitask. You could do more than once.
Our God is awesome.
So yeah.
we got an inside man in heaven.
All day and all night.
He's in the sanctuary. Absolutely.
Amen. Amen.
Our God is awesome.
Right. So I just spoke with her, and I was wondering if you got some time tomorrow we could talk.
Sure. Absolutely. Yep. Text me, call me early tomorrow is fine. Anytime.
Okay.
Before Sabbath, of course. Before Sabbath now. Before Sabbath. We're on the road tomorrow. Tomorrow. So you still can call me because we can do it via the phone. But we're on the road tomorrow. It's a 4-hour drive. And then we'll be headed back. So either way, yes. So reach out to me, text me, tell me you are. I'll make sure I'm in phone range. Because leaving here, going down 4 hours. We got about a rough 45 minutes to an hour where we don't have a phone signal.
Got you, got you. So are you on? Is there a time? Should I be calling you at a certain time then?
Central time. So 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. All those are good.
That's perfect.
11.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks again. All right.
Not a problem. God bless. All right. Who is that that's mute? That's talking. Who is that that's got to mute? I got to mute somebody. All right. Anybody else? Anybody got anything else before we pray? Okay, you good? Okay, let's see. All right, let's go ahead. All right, God bless you all. I want to thank. Oh, I see one more hand. Oh, Kip, really? Really? You've been sitting there hiding all this time? Everybody, the knife lady is here. The knife lady. My sister Kira, y'all. We got a lot of new people here, Kira, so they don't know who you are. Kira came on and doing the backpack, showing people how to prep your backpack, right? So you guys can be ready to get out the door, your emergency escape kit, your backpack. And Kira came on twice and did presentations. She does the full emergency backpack, people. Y'all need to watch her presentation. She shows you how to be ready to get out the door. But she pulled out like 13 knives out of one backpack. I'm like, Kira, really? 13 knives, meat cleavers, hatchets? She pulled out everything. Like that's almost except the pendulum. Remember the old pendulum that cut you in half? Hi, my sister. Go ahead, Kara.
Hi, Brother Kevin. No, it was I saw that Attila has a question about how the tap match can help Jamaicans get into the country. So I didn't want you to miss that.
Thank you so much.
See, she raised her hand. She raised her hand now. I didn't want her to get missed. So
okay.
You can
Thank you. That's my sister. How are you and how's Bella?
We'll have to talk.
Absolutely. God bless you.
All right, thanks.
Okay. All right. So the question is, how can the tap match help those in Jamaica? We got to find other people in Jamaica that's like-minded. Let them know that tap app match exists and that you can start to share resources and match up each other. But my sister, what was her name? What was your name? The sister that wanted to know that? Reach out to us via WhatsApp.
Oh, Attila. My name is Attila.
Hi, Attila. Hi, Attila. McTaggart. How do I say that?
Yeah, McTaggart.
Oh, that's outstanding, Miss McTaggart. Okay, so Attila, so just share that with like-minded people that's there, and some people have resources. Plus, I did just put together. This is today and yesterday. I'm putting together a whole new grant package of what is available and services that's available there. And then I'm also working on some things. If you guys have either dual citizenship or passports where you can fly back into the States, and if you got family, right, that's here in the States, there are grants that's available for people to do agriculture. And what I'm teaching people is that if you got a dual citizenship and you can fly back and forth, you can match up with your family here in the States. You get a grant to qualify for do things agricultural, put your salary in there with your family. Now, that salary goes a long ways when you take it back home. But I'm also looking for grants and finding grants and services in Jamaica, and we have found some. Now there's going to be a lot more newer things since you had all those things going on. So all I'm waiting for now is for them to get them in place, okay? So it'll be just a very short time, and then we'll be posting stuff on WhatsApp and then on our Zoom every Thursday. But I'm calling on all Jamaicans right now, if you guys to reach out and support my sister Tilla. You guys work together. Pastor Enriquez had boots on the ground for several times this week and last week. I believe he was there. Lots of resources. Everybody needs to team up. Anybody got anything to donate, send it directly to There Are People Ministries. No, I'm sorry, not to There Are People Ministries, not to us, because we'll have to forward it. Send it straight to our Pastor Andrew Enriquez at Save to Serve International, Save to Serve. Y'all know the website. Send it straight to them, not to anybody else, not to us. Send it straight to Save to Serve because they're the ones who put the boots on the ground. They're the ones who took everything over there. So it doesn't need to come here and go there. Send resources, clothes, shoes, have you call them, see what all they're looking for. Finances would be the best. Even if it's $5 or $10, $20, $100, $1,000, all that adds up. Send it straight to Save to Serve Ministries. Thank you, Attila.
Okay, thank you. Oh, do you also you mentioned Canada because I'm originally from Canada, and so I'm a dual citizen of Canada and Jamaica.
So you kicked up to the curb, you just flew over us holding your nose or something? What happened? What's up with that?
Pardon me?
I said you just skipped over America, you just flew over us. Huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay. No, I do. We have a Canadian team. My sister Trudy and Nicosia, they're both from Jamaica. They're in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're part of the TAP team. Absolutely. So yeah, there's help in Canada. Lots of resources in Canada as well.
Okay.
Okay. And Brother Theo, there's a few people in Canada.
Nice. Okay, last question. I went on the healing proper.
Yep.
.org. I didn't see like a full list of courses. Maybe I didn't navigate the
No, you
site
didn't.
properly.
It's not that you didn't do that. It's not that you didn't do that. We haven't loaded all those up yet.
Oh, okay,
We
okay.
finished this month loading all those up, and then December, because it launches in January. So December we start training. We get there so we can finalize all that, and then we start reviewing what we're going to do with as far as the teachers are concerned, because we got to get the teachers started as well. Come January 1st, we get the teachers started, and then March is when registration is going. But the classes will be up by January 1st.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice.
Okay.
Can we just have like a little I guess sneak preview of just some of the courses that you're going to offer
Oh,
for
more than
next
grateful.
year?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. You're so sweet.
Thank you.
So we got people that want to have their own food trucks. We got food truck vending, how to prepare the food truck vending. We got home health care assistance. We got maid service. We got carpet cleaning companies. We got janitorial services. We take you from A to Z to do each one of those. We got power washing. We got garment preparation. We've got really it does go on. We got carpentry for beginners, people who don't even know what hammer to use. So we got a beginner's course for carpentry that's 6 weeks. Then we got a medium for carpentry. We show people how to do, because in the first course you learn levels and tools and all those kinds of things, how to build advanced in carpentry. And then we got a more advanced piece of carpentry where you're actually building houses. Same thing with roofing, same thing with electricity, same thing with mechanics and all those at beginning levels. We got all of those courses. Lawnmower businesses, we got all of those courses. So what I did throughout my 30 years investigation, we learned how to show the feasibility, how people don't have to take 3 to 5 years to make money. And then we showed things that you don't have to necessarily go to school for, like plumbing, electricity, carpentry, all those things, bricklaying, auto mechanics. You do not have to go to college for all those things. You don't have to spend $1 gazillion for all those things. So there's courses that people can take. And then certain things require certain licensing and all that. So we guide you through what's available in your area and how to go about doing all of that. So it's going to be all kinds of things to do with hands-on marketing, business, candle making, holistic healing, medical missionary work, those kinds of things. Medical missionary first course, mid-level course, and an advanced course done by great instructors, all those kinds of things. You get all your curriculums, trust me, you get all your curriculums, all your guidebooks, you get everything for every single course. You got the complete syllabus for everything. Okay, you got a lot of homework to do because you literally have one day of week of school and 3 days of homework. So your week is occupied for those 6 weeks. That's a lot for you to do. So you get a lot in school, okay, and your quiz and test is there. In addition to introduced to live speakers and all those kinds of things. And that's a long day. That's a nice day in school, so to speak. Not a long day, but a nice day in school. But then you got so much of reading and hands-on that you have to do, and you get assistance with that as well. So you got a lot, and it's a Zoom platform, and it's going to be outstanding. And then you get, again, you don't lack for anything because there's no fluff or filler. It's all real work and things that has to be done.
And when is it?
Oh, sorry.
Two questions. One, the question is, when is this? The school starts January. The classes actually start March. The school launches January 1. Healingproper.org. That's the website. We'll start to load the classes up very shortly. You'll see all of those. There's lots of classes there. There's an entrepreneurship class you see on there for A to Z. It literally shows people who have no idea what they want to do in business. It shows you everything about business from A to Z. It literally does. On how to be self-reliant. You don't have to give your money to nobody. Show you all those things. Like I showed you Thomas Net. That's going to be something that every single one of those courses use. Because every single thing you need, you don't need to be paying full retail price for it when you can buy it from the manufacturer. So we show you that. So if you even want to start your own dollar store, but step-by-step guides for entrepreneurship, all those classes would be there, include medical missionary, starting your own services, medical, anything you name, just about. We have over 80 curriculums. And matter of fact, I'll bring that list up for the next week for you.
Do you teach how to garden by the blueprint? You're acquainted with the blueprint, Sister
Yes,
White?
ma'am.
Okay,
We teach that. Well, yes and no. She does have a great blueprint. We can teach that. And we do, but we just teach. We got a basic, advanced, and one super. That's a super with agricultural. And then not only how to farm right with the blueprints, but also how to sell produce and all those kinds of things. And then how to sell on a bigger level. So how to match up to sell even to the government. So how to plant right. And then we use weed barriers. If you're doing raised beds, we give you tons of options to build raised beds or in the ground, and how to not till certain areas, all those kinds of things. So it gets quite extensive. So there's a lot there, but we got something that governs and covers just about everybody and everything.
And it's applicable to tropical areas, regions, or?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, of course. Of course.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Oh,
Thank you.
absolutely.
I'm a
Not a
little
problem.
confused. So the classes start January or March?
So it launches in January. That'll be registrations. Okay, and we have to build up X amount of students. The first course day starts March. Some courses, things that can be done earlier, we will do, but we have to also train teachers. You know what I mean? We'll be straight training instructors. There's instructors courses that you can take too. I'll do a full introduction for you guys on this very next week. Okay. Yeah, because if we started right away, you don't have enough students. Remember, we're a national school. We're a national academy. So we want to make sure we got X amount of students, X amount of teachers. They're trained well. We want to take the time to make sure people know what they're doing, what they're giving out, what we're doing. The curriculums are all there, even for the teachers, even our superintendent curriculum. So we've got something for everybody to make this successful right off the bat. We just want people to be blessed, and people can leave knowing what they got is something they can get right busy with. Matter of fact, we even encourage that and help them do the marketing and advertising. You even get a social media class part of that. It's all that encompassed. Marketing, television, radio, social media. Show you how to get commercials for prices people didn't even know existed. When people thought commercials were, $1 million or $1,000 and $20,000, all those things, I was getting commercials for $6 and $8 and $12. I'll show you guys how to do that. So you learn a lot of things you didn't know about. Let me close out and then I'll take some more questions. Let me close. Let me pray and close. Well, go ahead. We'll keep going.
No,
It's gonna
just
be a long Zoom.
how long will be the course?
Our short courses start at 6-week courses.
Okay, thank you.
We're Healing Prophets Short Course Academy. That's why you don't get any fluff. You don't have to do English. You don't have to do social studies. You don't have to do history. You get right to the meat of what's needed. And that's what the curriculums are completely done. Everything's already laid out. Everything's accounted for every minute, including your break time. Everything's laid in there. Okay, so it's set to be awesome. Okay, and then some of you all even get to hear my voice. All right. So now I see Pauline and Betty Peterson. Then I see Kiosha. So who did not go? Pauline.
Okay. No, I was just asking, since Attila talked about the farming and stuff, I would like to know if there's a program that would help me get someone to help with farming. I want to do agricultural farming.
With a grant or with the school? Either way, yes, and yes. In the school, there's even grant classes, even show you guys how to fill out, how to do grants yourself, by the way. But yes, there's something available and someone available to match you up with. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're talking about grant rise, correct?
That or even to bring people from Jamaica to help. I don't know if there's anything as such.
We need to talk about that.
Okay,
because
good.
we need to talk about that.
Please check your text. I sent you a text.
That's why you're awesome. Thank you so much. Make sure your name's on it. Okay, thank you so much.
It is. All right.
Okay, thank you. All right. Let's see. I got Betty Peterson.
Okay, Kevin, you refer to Enriquez all the time. Is it possible that he's live streaming someplace? I would like to connect with this pastor because it seems like he talks so highly. Is he on Zoom? Is he? How do we connect?
He does midday power surge every day. Prophesy TV. He does a lot of things. He's out of Marietta, Georgia. Save to Serve Ministries, Serve to Serve International. They also have the church in Orlando.
Okay.
But prophesyaagain.tv or Prophesy Again TV on YouTube. And I'm gonna tell you why. If I could take 2 minutes of your time.
No, yeah, good.
I'm a little older than I look. Some people think I still got my little boyish figures. I'm grateful for that. But I was out of the church for over 30 years because churches lie to people and they steal from people and they're deceitful and deceptive. When God literally chose me and talked to me like I'm talking to you, he says, you're going to Wisconsin. That's a true story. I'll tell you later. He knew I was out of church for 30 years, but he also knew I was so distraught in the life that I was in that I lost control of it. So it took God to make those changes. When I came to Wisconsin is when he brought me into the knowledge of a church that was never open on Sunday. And that was the Seventh-day Adventist Church. But I was able to see an apostasy in churches before I knew what an apostasy was. That's what kept me out of churches. Apostolic, Pentecostal, Church of Jesus Christ, I saw all of this, and I knew everything was wrong. The Mormons, Latter-day Saints, I'm saying, how are you telling me something? You baptizing for the dead? That's not biblical. They didn't even understand what it meant. So, but when I came here and God brought me to that, into the full understanding, I tell everybody I had a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle with only 3 to 7 pieces in place. It wasn't until Pastor Enriquez that every single step of everything made 1,000% sense, because he literally takes you to the scripture, and then when you use your concordance, and then when you use what the Bible says, and then you look at Daniel, and Daniel telling you the dates and times, and Revelation telling you the events, and you see it unfold right before your eyes. Our God is awesome. And then another thing you can do in addition to that is look in your history books and say, there it is. So that's how we know where we are today. And that's why a lot of churches are upset about it, because he continues to tell people that. But this is real. So it's no time out for people with pride and vanity, because they're high up and they set way mighty and they got a title and all those kinds of things. There are souls being lost. And this is real. So, that's why I tell you, send everything to him, because what he did, ma'am, which was so awesome, they just had a baptism in Beaufort, Georgia, on a resort property. I mean, resort islands and lakes in Beaufort. Look it up. It's the highest end resort there. It has to be. If your family was one person or 5 or 10, $25 was a 4-day, 3-night stay with meals per day for that same $25, no matter how big your family was. That's real to me. That's somebody that's not after filthy lucre. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so Pastor Enriquez has proven himself time and time again. And matter of fact, if you look at his warnings, people call me and say, I'm tired of him saying, move to the country. He's so mean. I'm like, no, not really. I'm like, he means what he says. And then when you look at people, what have you done to move to the country? They've done nothing. And it's going to be a shame that this falls on deaf ears, but the Bible told us that these things will happen, that in these days, we're going to be lost where we are. You know those people who watched Noah build that ark for 120 years? That was like going to the drive-in theater. They sitting on the grass. And they were so lost where they are, is they watched the animals go on 2 by 2 and didn't even get in line. Here go lions and sheep and chickens and leopards walking together. Nobody eating nobody. Don't you know I would have got in that line? And I wouldn't have hid. But they was locked out. They were sealed where they were. When God closed that door, they were sealed out. So I'm praying to God that we don't be sealed out. So Pastor Andrew Enriquez is a teacher, an instructor, and a man of God, and I'll back that 1,000%. And then the reason you can't tell me different, because I can prove to you where all the other churches are wrong, not only from my private investigation skills, but from a biblical aspect. And that's why our God is awesome.
So Enriquez, did he see preaching every Sabbath someplace, or we can
yes,
live
ma'am.
stream?
Absolutely. Oh, yes, ma'am. Oh, yes. Matter of fact, we'll put Pastor Enriquez's website.
Please.
We'll put all that in the chat for Pastor Andrew Enriquez. Very, very, very awesome brother. He's originally from Jamaica, and did a lot of studies. But you can see all of his videos and all of his trainings. They're available. And then they also offer some beautiful baptism classes and things like that. So there's a lot that he does for people. But he's boots on the ground in Jamaica, and God bless him. They're feeding people, putting roofs on buildings, all those kinds of things. So that's why I speak highly of him, because that's the first church, the only one that I've seen be compliant.
Okay, thank you. So thomasnet.com, do you have to have a business card to purchase from them?
You do. Some sites you do, some you don't, because you can buy billion-dollar equipment from that website. But yeah, you can either do a DBA or doing business as. You can do a limited liability. You can do an EIN number. But a lot of those going to ask you, okay, what's your number? Or no. But I did not have one the first time I purchased something from them, because I got some things from them, because they sent me a sample pack and they sent me samples of various things. But yes, typically because they're businesses, they're wholesalers. So they want to sell to you. They want new clients. But yes, you should have some kind of business license or a permit, and those are really cheap and easy to get.
So the last question, you said your course is going to be $399 for 6 weeks. So if you pay the $399, will you be able to repeat the class when you offer it in for the rest of the year, or how does that work?
No, the next class the other class would be more advanced or different. And if it's in that same field, it'll be a higher level. That'll be a different class. But one thing you will get, yes, is a discount if you attended another follow-up class for that. You know what I mean? So there's a class that's start to finish complete for beginners. There's a class start to finish for mediocre. Even though you get a lot in the first class, trust me, you can actually be successful in your business, or we wouldn't have put it there. And then there's an advanced class, and then there's the third one being a well-advanced class, or professional class as we call it. All of those are different, but we got them all in the same price structure. But the more you take, there's a discount there, even if you're bringing in people. So it doesn't stop where you benefit. And then even people that signing up for the $799 teachers class, that's 10 courses you get. But you also get the instruction piece on how to deliver those courses to the instructor. So the benefit there, first of all, is less than $1,000. It's $799, and you get so much in your hand, literally, not kept from you, not hid from you. You can leave me today and go and start your own business and or school. That's how that's set up, because I want people to be successful. So that's just some years of putting all this work together in our team. We put all this stuff together to make things successful.
Okay, I'm looking in the chat though for Enriquez. So I'm saying bye-bye, but I'm gonna be looking in the chat for
Yes,
his
ma'am.
information.
Yep, and then just go YouTube and just type in Prophesy Again or Save the Serve International. Pops right up.
Okay, thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome. God bless you.
You.
Thank you. Hope I'm not boring anybody. Okay, that was Betty, right? Now, how about
Yes.
who's next? Kiosha? Thank you, Betty.
Yes, blessings.
Blessings.
I actually just had a question. I do a lot of different things here, such as like farming and plant-based cooking, all those things. But my thing is, I would just want to know if you can direct me to like the micro grants. I think that's just like the only thing that's really stopping me to get to the next
Sure,
level
absolutely.
of
No
blessing
problem.
others.
Just reach out.
Mhm.
Reach out to me. That's easy to do. Reach out.
Okay,
You got
blessing.
okay, I got you. God bless you. No problem. Not only can we guide you to it, we can guide you through it and walk you to it and walk you all that. Set up everything for you. I'm gonna give you a business plan, all kinds of things. So yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Okay, let's pray. Heavenly Father, God in heaven, we just thank you again, God, for your goodness, your grace, your mercy. Lord, forgive us our sins and our transgressions. God, we thank you for this Zoom. God, we thank you for our family here. God, we thank you for the new people hearing it for the first time. God, we pray that we always be a help to you, God, not a hindrance. God, that you lift up as we help and work to lift up your people, God, that they be covered under your blood. God, we thank you for direction and guidance, God, and we ask, God, that you cover them, God, now, that the Holy Spirit rest, root, and abide in their decisions, God, that they all be made with you in mind, God, that they keep you first, God. So we send these prayers up to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, in the most holy place of the heavenly sanctuary, as we thank you again, God, for all you do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So let me stop this.